and D handle the puck a little bit more, carry it until they're pressured, and just kind of see if they can open things up a little bit more, because they do have some very quick players, and they do have people who have shown they can score goals. I mean, they scored 3 goals in their win against Stonehill. They scored 3 goals in their win against Sacred Heart, and they came up a little short in that overtime loss to Assumption, but they did put 4 pucks in the back of the net. So I'd like to see them open things up a bit.
Good news is when they do score, they do tend to get the benefit of that. The problem is they also lead the nation in shutouts with 13, shutouts against with 13. So goal scoring has been the issue, but again, last couple of games they've played better. Some, a tough weekend set here where they got shut out a couple of times 2 weeks ago. A couple of wins at St. Michael's, a loss 4-1 yesterday, but they were in the game in the second period, just weren't able to get the extra goal that they needed.
100%. So like it's there, just got to find a way to pull it out of them.
Teams will be taking the ice shortly for this afternoon's game, which we thank you for joining us wherever you are across the country, around the state on campus, now that the students are back on campus, or around the world, as we have players from all over the world in this game this afternoon. As we said, the Eagles 6-19-0 overall, 6-13-0 in the NEWHA. They're 7th with 12 points. They're only ahead of St. Michael's, who's 0-25 on the season overall, 0-19 in the NEWHA. About a dozen games left to go in the regular season, and about 5 home games left for your Eagles. So come on out and enjoy some Division I NCAA women's hockey action. It's good for the post-University Eagle program, Coach, right, to have at least one Division I team. It happens to be women's hockey in this case, and opportunity as this league continues to grow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to start somewhere, and the fact that universities have made that commitment is really good, and a great opportunity for these women to get a taste of what it's like playing Division I teams and continuing to get better within the league, get stronger, hopefully start to show some promise in those out-of-league games that they do play. And credit to the league as it's going to continue to grow, and as these teams continue to get the type of talent they need to compete on a Division I level. You never know where this league will be in a couple of years, or where some of these teams could make. They make a tournament, they make a run, they end up somewhere nobody ever thought. You see those smaller conferences in basketball all the time win games and get the notoriety. That's sort of what this league needs to do as it moves forward. Yeah, absolutely. And it's an opportunity for these players to be pioneers and create something and be able to look back with some pride on what, in fact, they did create. Absolutely. Referees have taken the ice. Teams will take the ice momentarily. Let's go over the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Post University. For more information on their degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For the visitors from St. A's, the Hawks 14-9-1 on the season, 14-4-1 in the NEWHA. As we said, second with 29 points. Their goaltender today is Annabella Lalonde. She's a junior out of Plantagenet, Ontario, and I'm sure I butchered that, and I apologize. She is 4-2-0 this season with a 2.72 goals against average and an .894 save percentage. Her defensive combination is Brenna Martin, senior out of St. Michael's, Minnesota, and Maddie Ressler, a junior from Brighton, Michigan. Her forward combination, Brooklyn Schneiderman, who scored the game winner yesterday out of Helena, Montana. She's a sophomore. Maddie McCaffrey, one of the captains, a senior out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. And on right wing, Celesta Palucci out of Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, a senior. Round out the starting lineup. The head coach is Jen Kindra in her 3rd season, assistant coach Sarah Quigley, and Joe DeLault. For your Eagles, Hannah Saunders gets to start today, her 11th of the season. Sophomore out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Has a .910 save percentage, a 3.41 goals against average, and is 2-8-0 on the season. She and Grace Glassroot have relatively split the season schedule, with 11 starts for Hannah and 14 for Glassroot. Her defensive combination is Brooke Larson, the freshman of Highland Ranch, Colorado, and Casey Van Deltelaar, the junior out of Whitberry, Ontario. Forwards on the left wing, Hannah Luckman, junior from Woodbury, New York. At center, Macy Peterson, the freshman out of Brainerd, Minnesota, and a senior from Fairbanks, Alaska, Holly Kubacek. On a right wing, the Eagle head coach in season number 2 is Gretchen Silverman. The assistant coach is Chris Huntington in his 1st season. Teams have taken the ice and are being announced to the crowd as it's filling in here on a Saturday afternoon a cold, blustery Saturday afternoon, but the weather is going to warm up a little bit over the next week or so, which always makes me a little excited. Not that we're in March quite yet, but 15-degree and negative wind chills as we've had for the last few days are going away, which makes me feel better, right, Coach?
Yeah, every day is a day closer to spring in my book.
It's funny how much we love hockey, yet can't wait for the weather to be warm.
Yeah, that's one of my best experiences when I was coaching club hockey, and we were fortunate, made nationals a few years, but one was in Anaheim, California in March, and shorts and a light top on the walk over to Starbucks in the morning for coffee wasn't so bad.
Know it well. When I was working the Division III SEC games in Georgia, it was nice and warm down there, too, in the middle of March.
Yeah.
Rink looked like this, pretty much. All right, the announcements of the starting lineups have taken place in the arena. We're going to get ready for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here this afternoon as Division I hockey and the NEWHA style gets underway momentarily here at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut. Both teams getting around their goaltenders. Hannah Saunders for the Eagles and Annabella Lalonde for the Hawks this afternoon. Coach, quick question for you as we have a question in the Ask the Broadcast segment. Diana from Berkeley, California wants to know, why did the Lady Eagles set up on the other side of the rink than when the men play their games here in the same building?
I think it's just some personal preference. I mean, I think the coach just felt like that was a better spot to be. There is a room down in the corner there to your right there where you see those three blue doors where there is a kind of a coach's room in there for in-between periods and that. So I'm guessing that's probably part of it.
Diana, we thank you for your question from Berkeley, California this afternoon. And if you have a question, go to posteagles.com, click on the fan section. At the bottom there is an Ask the Broadcast section. Click on that, ask your question if it's for women's hockey or for men's hockey, which we'll be doing multiple games this coming week. Coach and I ask the question, and if your question gets asked, hopefully we'll try to answer it during the broadcast. This afternoon, the Road Hawks from St. A's wearing their dark blue uniforms with white lettering. They're going to go left to right as you look at your screen and dial. The Eagles in their home whites will go right to left as you look at your dial this afternoon as women's hockey gets underway momentarily here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Hopefully you'll enjoy it wherever you are this afternoon on a cold day here in Connecticut. Peterson and McCaffrey in the draw, won by Peterson of the Hawks, and off we go. Wrestler in her own zone goes D to Martin. Martin feeds it up the boards, but a little bit too far away. No, they're going to call icing. A little shockingly, because I think Larson could have played that, but 11 seconds in, the Eagles will get a face-off inside the Hawks zone. To the right of Annabella Lalonde, as we mentioned, 4-2-0 on the season. Her 7th start, 8th game overall, 2.72 goals against average, and an .894 save percentage. Peterson and McCaffrey in that draw. McCaffrey wins it again. Back to Wrestler, who sends it up the boards again, looking for a streaking Schneiderman. But getting back and playing D on it is Larson, goes over to the other side of Vanda Otelar. Vanda Otelar rips it around the boards. Kept in momentarily on the half wall, still kept in at the left point now as the Hawks make some nice passing around. Martin Goes D to D to Wrestler. Wrestler turns and fires. Looking for a deflection. She got it in front, but a nice save by Saunders. Puck not out. Wrestler keeps it in. Feeds it on the left wing for a shot. Stopped by Saunders again with the blocker, and the Eagles try to get out of the zone this time with Larson. Larson gets it out of the zone to center as the Eagles make a needed line change, and it's poked right back in and taken by Desai. Desai looking up the wing for Peterson a little bit too far, and an icing called. But a good shot down here on the right side, Coach, deflected, and a nice save by Saunders.
Yeah, it was good puck movement. I like to see the post team attack a little bit quicker, a little bit more intense here. It's your home rink, and let's get after this team a bit.
Face off to Saunders right between Tolchinsky and Peterson. Tolchinsky wins it back. That's 3-0 on the faceoffs early for St. A's, and Kuiper sends it in around the boards behind the net. Weber, one of the assistant captains, gets checked off by Desai. Weber tried to bring it out in front, but it went between the 2D and all the way back into the Hawk zone where Herman will play it. Herman plays it to center right in front of us here in the broadcast center, and Jackson managed to get it away, and Jackson brings it up on right wing. She tried to center it, managed to get through as Tolchinsky played it. Feeds it on her, gets to the zone, takes a shot, stopped right on by Saunders, bounces in the crease and just away from the net area. Another nice save by Saunders as St. A's pounding the net early. Keeps the puck into the zone. Jackson just barely keeps it in on the line, centers it into the slot, and then pops free to center where Kuipers gets it and brings it back in. But the Hawks have to go for a line change while tagging up, and they do. And here's Pitter. Pitter for the Eagles. Long pass to Wysocki. Nicely at the red line. Spins it around. High stick touched by the Hawks. Just a high stick touch, right, Coach? Not a penalty on that? Because both the referee and the linesman had their arms up. So just a face-off inside the Hawk zone to the right of Lalonde. Jody Rose wins it back cleanly to Ammons. Ammons with a shot run, a dangerous rebound in front, taken by Devlin, but a nice save there by Lalonde. Two saves by Lalonde on a nice setup there by the Eagles off the face-off. A good couple of opportunities there, and they just need to keep pounding it in like that. But beautiful opportunities, but nice save there by Lalonde.
It all starts with that nice face-off win.
Out of the zone comes Donovan. Gracie Donovan in over the line, gets around the defense, picks it up in the near side corner, tried to send it over to Blair, then sends it up the half wall to Blair again, and it just pokes out of the zone as Wrestler couldn't keep it in. Here come the Eagles again. Get the center, dump it in. Noonan does, but multiple Eagles go off on a line change. Devlin stays on, fights around a check, and St. A's tries to get out of it. Played up the center and back to the Eagle defense. Here's Larson. Larson, dangerous, almost too many men on the ice as players are jumping in and out of the bench area, but Vanda Otlar picks it up in her zone. Vanda Otlar goes up the glass to center, past Wrestler over here on left wing, chasing after it is Farberman. She sends it toward the net, sticked away by Lalonde. Kept in by McGavkis, goes behind that, in front with a beautiful centering pass and a stop by Lalonde. Centered it toward the net again as Peterson was stopped again. Peterson, 2 goals on the season and has had plenty of 10-bell chances. She had 2 breakaways in a home game a couple of weeks ago and another 10-bell opportunity there, but Lalonde stoned her. Back come the Hawks again, over the line. Long shot from just inside the blue line, stopped by Saunders. And, Coach, the Eagles getting some offensive opportunities, but Lalonde standing tall early.
Yeah, that's the kind of intensity they need, right? We were talking about, right? Peanut butter is good, but it's better with a little bit of jam. That's what they need.
Absolutely.
That's really good. That's really good stuff right there.
There you go. Making me hungry in the process.
Well, sure.
Tamari Grom on the faceoff, lost it. Long shot again, taken by Schneiderman, Brooklyn Schneiderman, the sophomore out of Helena, Montana, who has 11 goals on the season and the game winner yesterday. She is tied for second on this team in goals with 11. McCaffrey in the draw with Grom. McCaffrey wins it again to the point. Long shot blocked off the leg. Sent toward the net wide. Chasing in after it is Kuipers. Kuipers playing it on the half wall down into the corner where Pitter plays it around the boards. Sent back the other way but blocked and still behind the net. Multiple Hawks behind the net trying to get it out in front and then a behind the back pass trying to center it. It went off the net and into the near side corner. McCaffrey rimmed it around again to Schneiderman. Schneiderman checked off by Desai. Fighting for it, but McCaffrey comes away with it, then centers it out in front, but the only one there is Hannah Luckman. Luckman trying to go around the D, now racing after it to avoid the icing. It didn't get to the line, so no icing there. Luckman then takes out Kuipers out of the play, and the puck stays in momentarily before taken away by Herman. Herman gets it up the center to Schneiderman and then sent right back into the Eagle zone where the Hawks go off on a line change with 4 minutes gone by in the first period, no score. And then action here this afternoon in Shelton as the crowd continues to file in for this 2:45 game in Division I hockey here in the NEWHA. Ammons checking off her player in the near side corner. Puck comes free, played by Rose, rims it around, gets it out with a nice pass up ahead to Wysocki, had it chipped away and taken back by Weber. Weber in over the line, feeds it on left wing, behind the back pass back to Weber from Tolchinski. Probably not needed that close, and the puck comes free back to center and sent right back in by Popik. Danny Ammons behind her own net, goes D to D, feeds it up the wall, and here come the Eagles with an opportunity, but a deflected play by Tolchinski takes it away from Noonan, and back to the Eagle defense they go, and they'll start it over again. Vandal Otlar looking ahead for Peterson, off of Peterson into that Zamboni corner, ever dangerous. Peterson makes a nice play to get it behind the net, and Devlin rims it all the way back to Larson. Larson toward the net with a nice deflection in front, and another nice save there by Lalonde on a beautiful fake shot pass that deflected off the stick of Noonan into Lalonde, and another save. Jackson comes in over the line for the Hawks, fakes a shot, takes it. Saunders caught it, dropped it right in the crease area, and it squirts into the near side corner where Vandal Otlar gets a pass out of the zone to Noonan. Noonan gets to the red line, dumps it in. Devlin chasing after it with Ressler. Devlin's going to win the race because she took the better angle, but it was stick by Ressler around to the half wall, and then out of the zone comes Donovan for the Hawks. Donovan gets the center, had it chopped off her stick, but a nice play by Desai to come back and help out, and the Eagles try to get it out of the zone the other way as Grom. To Mary Grom, looks up on right wing for Patfield, a little bit too far. Now chasing in after, sorry, that's McEvkis, actually, but taken away by Kuipers. Kuipers goes to Tulo on left wing, comes in 2-on-4, looking for Donovan, and rolls off her stick, and she'll go off on a line change as Pitter will play it in the near side corner in the Eagle zone. Up to McEvkis on the half wall, feeds it dangerously in the middle, but onto the stick of Farberman, 1-on-3. Long shot from the blue line, stopped by Lalonde. And the puck comes free back to center where Webster goes D to D to Ammon. She'll dump it cross corner into that Zamboni corner, chased by Rose. First one after it, though, is Herman. Rose in there, though, gets it, comes away with it, centers it in front. Rose shot from right in front of the slot area. Backhand rebound, Lalonde, 2 saves there as Kubicek had the puck wide open, 20 feet out in the slot. And Lalonde tall to the task again. Here come the Eagles again. Rose taken down, no penalty. Fighting back into it with a push is Luckman. She pushes it into the near side corner, then sent up the wall and all the way down. This should be an icing. Ammons might want to just slow it down a little, and she does, to allow the puck to cross the line for an icing, but a beautiful opportunity right here by Kubicek, coach, 20 feet in front between the two circles.
Yeah, this is the best intensity I think I've seen against post playing against a top team like this.
Good effort so far. Hopefully they can continue with that effort as Peterson comes out for the face-off against Maddie McCaffrey of the Hawks. Won by McCaffrey again. I think she's 4-0 in the draws. Back to the D of Herman. Herman struggling with it. Puck comes free. Centered out in front and just over the top of the net on a chop shot by Wysocki. Behind the net to Peterson. Peterson lost it to Herman. Herman tries to rim it around, but right off Wysocki, so she keeps it behind the net. Checked by Herman. Played to Patfield. Patfield plays it up the wall, back to the point to Vandal Otlar. With a long shot looking for a deflection, but it ends up going wide. And Schneiderman gets it out the center to Larson. Vandal Otlar being watched by 2 players, but she nicely goes high up into the air, gets it back toward the Hawk zone where it's played back to the Eagle zone, and here comes Weber. Over the line with a shot, looking for the top corner off the glove of Saunders, who makes a nice save. Weber picks it up on the other side, tries to recenter it again, but the Eagle D there. Weber pokes it toward the net. It's laying in the slot and then chipped away and back to the left point, sent back toward the corner and then popped out to center where Ridge will play it. That's Ella Ridge out of Chicago, Illinois. To Popik, to Jackson, who brings it in over the line, stopped by Vandal Otlar, who feeds it past to Wysocki, who gets it out the center as the Eagle defense makes a line change. Ridge, in her own zone, goes dangerously across the middle, but got it to Jackson, and she feeds a nice pass up ahead to Tolchinski. In over the line, trying to get into the slot. Nice stick check there by Pitterman, and a beautiful pass in front. Stopped by Saunders to go around, and that is Saunders is out of the net. She dives back in. Puck never gets there. Good job by the Eagle defense. Then a wrist shot from Ridge at the point, blocked in front. Ridge then sends it into the far side corner. End-to-end action here this afternoon. Recentered in front by Blair. Tolchinski in the near side corner. She fights off the check of Vandal Otlar and centered it out in front, and they score a beautiful pass by Tolchinsky. She sent it across to the wide open Audrey Jackson. And at 8:50, Jackson's 7th goal of the season, the junior out of Shoreview, Minnesota, gives the Hawks a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this is where Post will talk about it, I'm sure, on the bench. When things start to get like that, pucks start to move quickly, get scrambly, you got to identify who your player is, got to communicate out there so you know who exactly you have. And that player was just left a little bit along there. Head has to be more on a swivel, and we can pick those plays up and negate that. But really good pressure for sure.
Then right off the faceoff, Blair came in on right wing, took a shot that Saunders gloved down for a faceoff. We'll see if we can get all the assists on that one. It's definitely, at a minimum, it's Jackson, her 7th from Tolchinsky. See if there's another assist added. Here's a shot by the Eagles right on, stopped by Lalonde again as Farberman picked up a puck on the top of the far circle and took a wrist shot that was stopped by Lalonde. Eagles tried to send it back toward the zone. And offsides at the Eagle line. So for the moment, it is Jackson, her 7th from Weber at 8:50. We'll see if there's a second assist added later on, and we'll get that to you. But 1-0 St. A's early in, midway through the first period at this point here at the Sports Center Arena. And then a bad pass off the faceoff given away to Hartnell, who cruised in but was blocked by Van de Hotelaar. And then sent behind the net. Van de Hotelaar fighting for it with Kyra Anderson of the Hawks. Taken away by the Hawks into the zone, and then a boarding penalty taken by Macy Peterson at 9:41 will send the the Hawks to the man advantage for the first time today. They're going to call interference technically at 9:41 for the Hawks. They're 21 for 94 on the man advantage, 22.3%. That's first in the NEWHA. For the Eagles, they are 56 of 76 on the penalty kills, 73.7%. That is last in the NEWHA. Face-off to Saunders' right. As the best power play and the worst penalty kill go at it, let's see who wins the battle. Martin goes across to Schneiderman, back to Martin on right point. Sends it down into the half-wall area to Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky looking for a backdoor centering pass to Schneiderman. Just went wide. The Eagles have an opportunity for a break if they can get it up to Devlin. Devlin trying to get it, but it was chopped away and taken by Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky, like a speed skater, going around, gets to the blue line, checked into the wall, sends it down to Paolucci. Pitter down there to help get the puck, trying to squirt it away. Comes free to the half wall to the Hawks. Martin on right point, goes across to Schneiderman on left point. Back to Martin on right point. Trying to set up the umbrella, but it goes off her stick and out to center with 1:20 to go on the man advantage. 1-0 Hawks. Here's Schneiderman. Skates away from the defense. Feeds a pass up to Tolchinsky at the blue line. And then rolled in. Desai goes in after. She gets it. Spins around. Tries to get it out. Goes off the dasher. Kept in by Schneiderman's leg. Right at the blue line. Eagles still trying to get it out. Noonan fights for it, but Schneiderman comes away with it. Schneiderman cruising the slot with a wrist shot that just goes wide. Schneiderman then re-centered it off the pad of Saunders. And now it's behind the net to Donovan. Donovan comes out the near side, looks to center it across with a nice pass to Schneiderman. Shot stopped by Saunders. Took too much time to get the shot off. One-timer, she might have had a hole. And instead it was sent all the way down by the Eagles with 45 seconds remaining on the man advantage. 9 minutes to go in period 1. 1-0 St. A's. Here comes Popik. Savannah Popik out of South Windsor, Connecticut. Comes in over the line on right wing, sent it down around the boards. All the way to Jackson. Jackson to Popik. They set up the umbrella now. She's at center point. Goes back down to Jackson on left wing. Jackson closes in, goes behind the net. Give and go pass in front to Jackson, but defended nicely by the Eagles. No shot taken there. Popik on left wing with 15. Gives it to Jackson. Jackson comes out. Gets right to the slot area. Goes to right wing. Gives it back to Jackson. One-timer blocked in front. She had a hole, but a nice block in front. The Eagles send it down, and that'll kill the man advantage. So the worst penalty kill beats the best power play on this attempt right here. Game remains 1-0 as the Eagles are back to full strength. Wrestler trying to go around the whole team, had it taken away by Grom. She comes in with a 2-on-1 opportunity on right wing, takes a shot toward the net. Rebound, right, and they score! It's Peterson who picked up the loose puck on a 2-on-1, and Tamari Grom came in on right wing, took a little wrist shot that Lalonde couldn't handle, and Macy Peterson, her third goal of the season, at 11:53, makes it 1-1. Good play there, Coach.
Yeah, that's just a great pass-off pad with the other player driving the net and burying that rebound. That's Textbook hockey right there.
Right off the penalty kill as well. So at 11:53, Peterson's third of the year from Grom. 2 centers on the ice at the same time. Get the goal. And one thing we haven't mentioned this afternoon is the Eagles are actually playing a player short. Tristan Curry is out of today's game with a bone bruise. So the Eagles are actually playing one player short. That's probably why we had 2 centers on the ice in that situation. But the Eagles tie the game at 1. It's Peterson's third from Grom at 11:53. Puck sent into the Hawk zone. Rimmed around to Blair of the Hawks. Blair goes back behind all the way around the Hartnell. Played there first by one of the Hawks and then squirts into the slot area where Wysocki takes a backhand blocker save by Lalonde. Eagles pressuring offensively very well this afternoon so far. Puck stays down in that corner. Wysocki tried to play it. It goes up the wall and all the way out. It might go down for an icing. Let's see who's going to win the race. Well, 3 Eagles are actually racing each other, and Pitter gets there first for the icing with 7:18 remaining in period 1, 1-1. Again, Coach, good job killing off the power play, the best power play in the NEWHA, and then getting a goal right after it.
Yeah, that's got to give you some juice in your game, right? That when you kill off a power play like that, a good power play like that, and you come back and you score a goal, you got to.
Pitter scores! Sorry, Coach, off the faceoff. She took a long shot from left point. It deflected off one of the St. A legs and into the goal. And at 12:46, it's 2-1 Eagles.
Yeah, something how quickly a game the swing can change, right? Early on, first few minutes, all St. A's. Post hung with it, began to up their tempo and pace and their compete, and here we go up 2-1. 2
goals in 53 seconds for the Eagles. It's going to be Desai. Sorry, it's Pitter, her first from Rose at 12:46. We'll see if there's a secondary assist on that goal, but 2 quick goals by the Eagles. And suddenly a 2-1 lead. Puck kept in the zone momentarily, and back comes Jackson on right wing over the line. We'll get the goal situation set up in a second. Tolchinsky makes a move to the slot dangerously in front. She scores! What a move by Tolchinsky as she went around multiple Eagle defenders. Popped free in the slot on the other side, and she ripped the shot past Saunders at 13:21, and the game tied at 2.
Yeah, this might be one of those games.
It's going to be one of those games. We're seeing it right now, Coach. As Tolchinsky, their leading goal scorer, her 14th of the season at 13:21. So a mere 35 seconds after the Eagles take a 2-1 lead, the game is tied at 2. Let's correct the Eagle goal. It's Desai, her first from Rose at 12:46, and then Tolchinsky, her team-high 14th at 13:21. So 3 goals in less than 90 seconds, 88 seconds as a matter of fact, and the game is now 2-2. So if you blinked, you missed from 1-0 to 2-2. Here comes Tolchinsky up at center, makes a veer to the left wing over the line, gives it to Weber. Weber checked off nicely by McEvkis, and the Eagles take the puck behind the net. It's Van Otlar. Van Otlar goes high up into the air to center, but no Eagles are there, so it goes back to the Hawk zone there. It's taken by Ressler. Ressler, nice stick checked away by McEvkis, but she couldn't keep going with it. Instead, it ends up in the Eagle zone. Here, Schneiderman. Schneiderman walks in, backhand shot, stopped by Saunders. The defenseman went away from Schneiderman for some reason on that play and gave her way more space than needed. With 5:45 remaining in the first period, 2-2 to score here. Saunders with some big saves, but Lalonde, both teams getting some shots, and Eagles getting pressure here in the first period. And that's right, we're under the 10-minute timeout for the first time. That's why the clock suddenly went to 45 seconds.
There you go. You're starting to see from St. A's, too, you're starting to see them step up their game. And that's what, good teams can do that, right? They get pressure, they get behind maybe, and they pick up their game. And that's what they're doing right now. So Post has to meet that with their own pressure and rise above that and actually push back even harder. I mean, that's how you win.
Eagles do have to be careful, though, on a play like that we just saw. They backed off of Schneiderman. And Schneiderman went from having sort of a 2-on-1 to suddenly being wide open 15 feet out in front of the net with nobody there. She, on her backhand, Saunders made the save, but you can't leave a dangerous player like that wide open.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's where the pushback needs to come. You need to close your gaps, and you need to get in their face a little bit now.
And we'll catch you all up on all the goals and all the assists in the intermission. as the goal's moving fast and furious. A couple of the second assists we just have to get some verification on. And don't forget, we'll go around the post-University sports scene as we do every first period intermission here during one of the broadcasts here this afternoon on the CACC network and youtube.com/go post Eagles. Peterson being ridden out of the play by Schneiderman, but the Eagles managed to get it up in the air and dump it down. Now Peterson chasing after it. Checks off the defender. Martin goes behind the net with it, still fighting for it. Peterson opened the scoring for the Eagles today. And the puck comes up the half wall. Kept in by Kubicek, who had a nice opportunity of her own early on. And back 2-on-2 comes St. A's. Schneiderman in over the line. Long shot sticked away into the near side corner by Saunders. Played by Peterson up the wall. Looking for Luckman, and here comes Luckman 1-on-2. Over the line on left wing. Gets checked off. Had no help as everybody went for a line change. And the Hawks able to get it out with Anderson. Anderson goes across the ice to Schneiderman, who seems to be playing all game. Takes a high shot wide to the right, and Kuipers keeps it in. I think Schneiderman finally goes off for a line change, as I jokingly feel like she's been on the ice most of this first period. Played up and out by Farberman, and she continues forward ahead. Excuse me, that's Rose. Rose, 21-11, into the near side corner. Checked off by Kuipers. Going in to help is Patfield. Patfield, 5 players, now 6 players. It's 4-on-2 for St. A's in that corner spot. With 4:30 to go in period number 1. It's still pinned to the wall there. Finally taken out by St. A's as Herman sends it up the wall, and out with speed on left wing comes Wrestler in over the line. Wrestler shot wide the net. Sent around the boards. Kept in by Anderson. Anderson took a shot toward the net. Goes off the leg of Hartnell. Kept in there. Hartnell on left wing. Shot toward the net. Deflects off the leg into the corner of the Rose. Rose pinches it nicely up the wall and just out to center, where Ridge and Popick play catch with it and then give it away to Ammons. Ammons sends it into the Hawk zone. Ridge will go in after it. Noonan tried to chase Ridge. They went the wrong way. Now Merritt. Merritt plays it up the wall, looking for Donovan, but sent back in by the Eagles. Devlin now chasing after Popick in the Zamboni corner. Popick makes a nice play, faking left and then going right, getting it up the wall, and then finally out of the zone. Here comes Tulo in over the line. Tulo trying to go around 3 Eagles. Finally stopped by Van Otelaar, who goes high off the glass and out the center, where Wrestler will play it for the Eagles. Good pace here this afternoon with 3 minutes to go in period 1. Wrestler sends it toward the net way wide, goes behind the net, played by Larson. Larson reversing the flow to Van Otelaar, but a little bit too far, and kept in by Blair. Blair goes D to D to Ridge. Ridge sends it toward the net, blocked by Noonan, who appears worse for wear. She's holding on to her stick tightly in the slot area, but able to get back into the play. Now Van Otelaar pinches it up the wall and just out of the zone, and the Eagles will take it from there. Noonan spins it back to center and then sent right back into Saunders. 2-2 to score, 3 minutes to go in period 1 here this afternoon in Shelton. A good one so far here in the first period. Pass up to Peterson, who got one of those goals, her 3rd of the season, but then taken away and back to the Eagle D to Desai, who has the other goal. Desai looking ahead for McEvka. She gets it into the zone, but the Eagles are said to be offsides. And the faceoff will be just outside the Hawk zone with 2:33 to go in period number 1. Coach, good pace today between both teams, particularly since they played yesterday.
It really is. So it's really going to be a question of who can sustain this for 3 periods.
And you wonder with the Eagles a player down whether they might get tired a little first. But here come the Hawks quickly back 2-on-1 on left wing. Centered it across, but a nice play there by Pitter to prevent the pass getting through to Jackson. Hawks keep it in the zone. Center of puck again to Jackson, who goes around the defense and then a block in front. There's a penalty. I think that might be goaltender interference, as Saunders was taken down by Weber on that 2-on-1 inside the zone. And with 2:16 remaining in period 1, I think the Eagles are going to go to their first man advantage of the game. Here, let's make sure nobody's going in the box yet, but it looks like Claire Weber, the senior out of Marshfield, Massachusetts, is getting 2 for goaltender interference. And that'll set the Eagles on the power play with their 9 for 88 on the season, 10.2%. That's 8th and last in the NEWHA. St. A's is 65 for 81 on the penalty kill, 80.2%. That's 6th in the NEWHA. So not the best power play against one of the not better penalty kills. So we'll see who wins this battle. In a 2-2 game, 2 minutes to go in the first period, 1:50 on the man advantage. And a hand pass just outside the Eagle zone, the Hawk zone, excuse me, will lead to a face-off with 2:05 to go in period 2, 1:49 on the power play. So 16 seconds separates the period and the power play. Well played first period. Exciting. And the face-off to Saunders left inside the Eagles zone. Won by the Eagles, back to the defense, and the Eagles will start their man advantage with a pass to Desai. Desai makes a fancy move, gets to center, carries it in over the line 4-on-2. She dumps it down around the boards. Played by Noonan in the Zamboni corner. Goes back to Grom. Grom to Desai center point. Goes to Grom on the half wall. Hard pass kept on the stick. Grom gave it back to Desai, who faked the shot, then took the shot, but it went off Tolchinsky and then all the way back down into the Eagle zone. 90 seconds remain in the period. 77 remain on the man advantage. Here's Noonan. Cross the ice looking for somebody. He never got there and came back to center where Schneiderman plays it. She comes in over the line on right wing, being checked all the way through. Tried to get a shot off, but Noonan took it away, and here comes Noonan. Noonan comes back over here, but a dangerous pass again taken away as she was looking for McEvkis, and the Eagles trying to go forward again. Played up by Peterson on left wing, has a player in front in Wysocki, but she couldn't catch the puck up. And instead it rolls all the way around past Schneiderman, but kept in by Ammons. Puck sent down into the half-wall corner near that Zamboni wall and then back out the center with 30 remaining on the power play and 50 remaining in the period. Checked into the wall, Wysocki. Puck comes free up to Peterson. Peterson on left wing, 1-on-2, had his stick checked away, but played into the corner after Martin took it away. Peterson comes out the other side with 23 on the man advantage. Leaves it for Patfield. Patfield comes out, centered in front of Peterson, who was checked off and then sent all the way down the ice. Two players checked off Peterson as they read that backdoor centering pass with 10 remaining on the power play and 25 in the period. Long pass ahead, nowhere near anybody. This is going to be an icing on the man advantage with 3 seconds remaining on the power play and 19.3 to go. That'll send the face-off to Saunders left. Eagles one opportunity, one shot on goal on this man advantage that the Hawks have done a good job killing off. Face-off one, long shot taken from right side, blocked in front as that shot was taken by Herman. Eagles have it behind the net with 10 remaining in the period. Just want to get it out of the zone at this point, but Ammons will go behind her net, kill off the remaining seconds. She goes D to D to Vanda Otlar. Puck sent across the ice to Wysocki, and that's where period one will end. An exciting first period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut this afternoon. High atop here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where after one period of play, it's 2-2. Coach, an exciting first period. Both teams and the Eagles getting good opportunities. Lalonde made some good saves. Saunders made some good saves for the Eagles on the other end to keep this game 2-2.
Yeah, I think that in this period, Post showed that they belong with this team. They can play with this team. So now they need to, based on this period, I'd love to see them believe in themselves, find a way to dig a little deeper, find another gear, and push even harder in the second period here, because it's really, at the end of the day, this is going to be about who can sustain the pace and the tempo.
And that's our first period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a look around the post-university sports scene here. With the score, your post-university Eagles 2 and St. A's 2. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Post-University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. You're also watching it as well. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, high atop, as we are here for the women's game this afternoon with the score 2-2. An exciting first period between the two teams. And again, score 2-2. I'm Jeff Nelson. As we do always here in the first intermission, we go around the post-university sports scene, and that's brought to you by Post University with their 21 NCAA Division II athletic programs. Actually, it's 20 Division II athletic programs and 1 Division I athletic program. Go to posteagles.com for more information, no matter what your sport, to gather more information. That's posteagles.com, posteagles.com. So around the sports team, we'll start with the men's hockey team who has a loss yesterday up at Southern New Hampshire. They will play Southern New Hampshire again today, but the news is their makeup game on Wednesday against Assumption that was snowed out a couple of weeks ago that we were supposed to do has been moved from the Sports Center of Connecticut to Sacred Heart University in the Martiri Family Arena. That game will be played on Wednesday at 7 p.m. at that beautiful new facility. So if you haven't been and want an opportunity to see that facility as well as see Post University play at any 10 conference game, please show up on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, with the date for some reason not computing in my head. But on Wednesday, the Eagles will host Assumption at the Martiri Family Arena on the campus of Sacred Heart University in Fairfield on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Please come out and support the Eagles. Great opportunity to see that beautiful new arena. I've been there a couple of times, and not a bad seat in the house and a great place to watch collegiate hockey, and the Eagles will play there on Wednesday. Again, that's 7 o'clock. If you can't make it there, we'll be on the network live, 6:45 on the NE10 Now Network. Coach and I doing all the play-by-play and color commentary, 6:45 on the NE10 Now Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles, and maybe we'll see if we can somehow sneak that game onto SNY, working behind the scenes to make things happen for you here at Post University. Women's basketball, who are on the road today at Jefferson University. They have a 4 o'clock game down in Philadelphia, but are coming off a win of their own, 93-80 against Caldwell University. They extend their win streak to 7 on Wednesday before they, again, they're playing Jefferson today. They won 93-80 to raise their record to 9-6 overall, 4-1 in the CACC. Maya Klein, who again is on the CACC honor roll, was the first Eagle to break the standstill just 21 seconds into the game with a couple of shots from the charity stripe. The Eagles would eventually take a lead of 21-12. After a minute of scoreless action, D.D. Stevenson sunk one from behind the arc to make it 24-12, and the Eagles held their double-digit lead for several minutes before Caldwell was managed to get it back to under 10. Eagles didn't shoot great from the half, but managed to take a 69-57 lead, and they stayed hot from three-point land, reclaiming a 14-point lead late in the fourth quarter as Maya Klein drilled a three. The home squad managed to hold on to their lead in the remaining minutes, eventually winning by 13. Lysandra Turner had 989 career points entering the game. She had 8 more. Is now just 3 away from the 1,000 mark. Maya Klein recorded double-digit points for the 7th game in a row, and the Eagles extend their win streak against the Cougars to 7. Again, they play this afternoon at Jefferson University at 4 p.m. The Eagles look to break their 10-game losing streak against the Rams, as last time the team met on the court, the Eagles fell 77-71 up at the Drubner Center. Last game that the Eagles have won was 81-78 back in 2013. Sorry, my page has a bunch of different information in it. The Eagle men, unfortunately, coming off a 92-80 loss to Caldwell University on Wednesday. The Eagles ranked, depending on what poll you look at, 23rd in the nation by Division II, 11th in another poll, and 16th in another poll, and are ranked number 1 in the Northeast. Prior to that loss on Wednesday, Eagles fall to 12-3 overall, 3-1 in the CACC. Junior guard Bo Lacotte scored a game-high 22 points for the Post University men's basketball team, while junior point guard Robert Saunders had 18 on 7 for 18 shooting. But unfortunately for the Eagles, Caldwell got the victory, and they moved to 7-7 overall, 3-2 in the CACC. We'll see where the Eagles rank after this weekend, but if they can beat Jefferson University, whom they're playing now down in Philadelphia, that'll help keep them potentially in the top 25. Again, ranked 23rd currently in the Division II ranks. national ranks and number 1 in the Northeast of the Post men's basketball program. He was the only CACC player put on the list and is one of only 2 Division II East Region players to make that list, along with Zach Laputte from Bentley. The award is presented annually to the player who has the finest overall season within small college basketball. Considerations will be the season statistics, individual achievement, awards, personal character, and team achievement. So congratulations to Deng Dieng to making the Bevo Francis Top 100 list for small college basketball. Again, another sign of Eagle Athletics excelling, and they've had great seasons from the men's soccer team to now the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team as well. For the Lady Eagle ice hockey program, their next game will be Friday at home here against Franklin Pierce. That game will be at 8:15 upstairs here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach and I will be with you for all the exciting action on Friday as the Eagles host Franklin Pierce here at 8:15. Also, the men will play at 4 p.m. downstairs against St. A's, I believe, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
It's all running together now. That's going to be a very long Friday. Coach and I will also be doing that game as well. So Coach and I will be doing the 4 o'clock men's game against St. A's downstairs at 4, and then up here at 8:15 for the women's game against Franklin Pierce. And that's after the Wednesday game at 7 o'clock at the Materi Family Arena on the campus of Sacred Heart University. That's your look around the post-university sports scene, a very busy sports scene as we get back with the kids on campus and school underway here this afternoon. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a recap of the first period. You're listening and watching the post-university women's hockey and the WHA women's hockey on the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Back here, first intermission at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut. 2-2 the score between St. A's and Post University. A recap of the first period brought to you by Post University. For more information on their degree programs to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Early goal for St. A's. Well, not so early at 8:50 of the first period. A beautiful pass by Natalie Tolchinsky, the senior out of Clifton Park, New York. She whipped it across the slot area right to Audrey Jackson. She slammed it in for her 7th goal of the season. at 8:50, and that gave St. A's a 1-0 lead. Then St. A's went to the power play, and despite having the best power play in the NEWHA and the Eagles having the worst penalty kill, the Eagles killed it off, and then right after, at 11:53, a beautiful 2-on-1 with Tamari Grom. She took a shot on right wing, stopped by Lalonde, but Macy Pearson driving the crease found a loose puck and slammed it in for her third of the year to make it 1-1. Then 53 seconds later at 12:46, the Eagles took the lead as the puck was sent back to the left point, and Sejel Desai took a shot from the left point and went off a St. A player's leg and behind Lalonde, and the Eagles took a 2-1 lead with 2 goals in 53 seconds. But that lead did not last long, as 35 seconds later, Natalie Tolchinsky came in on the right wing, faked the drive behind the net, instead went into the slot, kept going all the way across, and then ripped a shot past Saunders to make it 2-2, and that's where the period ended. 2-2, both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Shots on goal in the first period for St. A's 18, for the Eagles 11. Face-offs were the dominant force, where St. A's was 16-4 in the face-off draw. Coach, good first period. We talked about the Eagles getting goals. They got 2 goals, and they were driving the net and getting shots early. 18-11, a good representation of where the game is, but now the Eagles need to keep it up as we go into the second period, and that sometimes has been the problem.
Yeah, that's, what they've done is they've taken a bit of pressure off their goaltender, which is a good thing, and they're able to push the pace a bit. I'd like to see them push that pace more consistently and dictate better, especially defensively when they're getting attacked. That first, sometimes it's a forward, sometimes it's a D who's up and back, gap up and slow that down so the back pressure can come and help you out. Because when you back into the net, like what happened on that second goal, it just gives way too much open ice for your opponent to take. So something they're certainly capable of doing. I'm sure Coach has talked about that between periods, and we can see if they've shored that piece up, and it should be an entertaining second period.
Absolutely. Teams getting ready to take the ice for the start of period number 2. Just an update on the schedule for everybody. Wednesday, January 24th at 7 p.m. is when the men Eagles will be playing hockey at the Martiri Family Arena on the campus of Sacred Heart University against Assumption. That game will be 7 o'clock, so come on down if you've never seen that arena. Good opportunity to watch the Eagles play there. And again, we'll be on the network live at 6:45 p.m. for a pregame on the NE10 Now Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. And then the Lady Eagles will be back here on Friday at 8:15 up on top of the Sports Center of Connecticut. That follows the men's game at 4 p.m., which will be downstairs here at the Sports Center Arena. So Coach and I will be doing a lot of walking and a lot of talking on Friday and Wednesday of this week. So the teams are taking the ice back for the start of the second period. The Hawks will go right to left as you look at your dial there in their dark blue road uniforms. The Eagles in their white uniforms will go left to right. Peterson and McCaffrey in the draw as we start period number 2 here. 2-2 the score, lots of 2s on the board. Let's see, again, the Eagles get the 3 goals. They've been very successful this season. See if they can get one more. They're going to need one more at least to win the game in a 2-2 game. The faceoff won by McCaffrey, who was 5-0 in the draws in the first period. And again, that's where the Hawks have been dominant in this game. Schneiderman, a long shot looking for the near post, almost found it and then just went wide. Peter taken away by Luckman. She can't get it out. A blast from the point doesn't get anywhere. Schneiderman turns and fires, but he shot into a leg, and then an opportunity to McCaffrey was cruising by, but she fanned on her attempt, and it goes into the corner. Schneiderman tries to pick it up in the Zamboni corner, fought for there by Larson. 2-on-3 are the Eagles in that corner, and it comes free to McCaffrey, who takes a heavy shot, stopped by the stick of Saunders. Martin goes behind the net and finally taken away by Peterson as the first 40 seconds have been in the Eagle zone, but then Peterson gave it away. Kept in the zone by Weber. Weber tries to come into the slot, lost it, goes off a stick, rolling to the crease area with a shot taken high by Jackson. Puck comes free on the near side wall. Eagles desperately trying to get it out. They've been hemmed in the zone the whole first minute of the period. Here's Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky centered it out in front. Jackson took a shot. Saunders stopped it right on, and that was a bad 65 seconds for the Eagles, as that puck never left the zone, and at least 3 solid opportunities for St. A's.
Yep.
But Saunders made the saves and keeps it 2-2.
Yeah, playing against a good team like this, you know that they're going to come out and they're going to push hard again. You need to push back harder.
Again, St. A's second in the NEWHA with 29 points. Eagles seventh with 12. Eagles sort of win that face-off that time. We'll give them a win on that one as Wysocki reversed the flow looking for Pitter, but it got taken away by Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky gives it back to Weber. Weber tries to center it in front, but a nice play by Desai takes it away from the crease here. She sends it up the far side wall. Wysocki chipping in, trying to get it out of the zone. Puck still in the zone, kept in. Tolchinski has it. Tolchinski comes out to the top of the slot, goes behind her back to Jackson. Jackson does the same move, goes to the same place. She cuts down the middle. She had a passing opportunity, goes off the leg, and the Eagles finally get it out of the zone as Patfield, being stick-checked the whole way, gets to center, and the puck gets dumped in behind Lalonde. Wysocki goes in after it, but the puck taken past Wysocki, and a long pass over here and out of the zone to Weber. Weber on left wing and over the line, sends it toward the net. It goes behind the net, played by Ammons. She'll come out the far side, spin away from the check of Blair, and the Eagles will come out the near side with Noonan getting it out to center, but back on the stick of the Hawk defense. Here's Blair, Blair trying to get it by Noonan. Noonan does a good job, but then taken away by Herman. Herman comes in over the line, looked off sides, but they keep it onside. And the puck sent in behind the net to Donovan. Donovan had it kicked away by Rose. Rose tries to pinch it up the wall for Noonan, can't get it there, then taken away by Donovan, had it taken back, and Saunders will cover it as it rolls to her in the crease. Slides to her in the crease with 2:31 gone in period 2, 2-2, but all the play on this end of the ice in front of Saunders.
Yeah, which is how the game started, right? And Post was able to right the ship, so just have to keep going here and see what we can do.
Peterson in the draw with Blair. Puck won by Blair, but taken away by Larson, and she'll carry it out looking for a pass. And then the defender falls down, but somehow managed to get it back. And then a big collision between Peterson and Blair right in the middle of the ice. Both players just colliding into each other. Then a shot taken from the point by McEvkis goes off a leg and kicks out to center. Here comes Tulo on left wing. Long shot in, stopped by Saunders. Credit for a shot on goal, but an easy one for Saunders, and then sent back out to center by the Eagle defense. Back in comes Merritt. She'll take a long shot, stopped by Saunders. Chipped up the wall to the half wall, trying to get out of the zone with it. It was McEvkis. She couldn't do it. Now pinned on the half wall. Martin fighting down with McEvkis. McEvkis still there. She finally gets it out to center. Good effort there by Selena McEvkis, a freshman out of Toronto, Ontario. Sent back into the Eagle zone by Kyra Anderson. Eagles there first, try to get it out past Hartnell. McEvkis does, sends it all the way down. It will just miss the goal area. So icing with 3:35 gone in period 2, 2-2 to score.
Yep, starting to see a little bit of that pushback that we talked about from Post. We just need to kind of up the intensity a bit here and get it going.
Feels like they're pushing the bricks back down the hill a little bit, see if they can get it into their zone and put some pressure on Lalonde. Face off to Saunders left. Peterson out there, lost the draw to McCaffrey. Shot taken from the top of the circle, rims all the way around, kept in by Martin on left point. Martin sends it toward the goal, goes off a leg, and that's an opportunity for Farberman to try to get it out. She fanned on her first attempt, pushed her second attempt, but kept in the zone, and finally pushed out by the Eagles to center. Farberman gets taken down, but no. Oh, there is going to be a penalty there. I was going to say she got taken down, but it really wasn't much of anything. But Farberman did a good enough job of being taken down to draw a penalty on Wrestler for roughing at 3:55, and that'll send the Eagles to their second power play. And now if they can put some pressure on the lawn, they really will have pushed those bricks down the hill.
Yeah, great opportunity here. Let's see if we can't take advantage of it.
Face off to Lalonde's left. Grom in the draw against Tolchinski. Won by Tolchinski. Back in front, but then the puck comes free in the slot area and sent out to center by the Hawk defense. Here's Desai. Desai gives it to Grom. Grom looking in the middle, but lost it before she could get it to Devlin, and it was sent all the way down the ice where Saunders leaves it. Oh, Tolchinski gets there first as it takes a funky bounce out into the slot area. Tolchinski ends up in the corner with it, rimmed it up the wall to Devlin, but then Devlin gives it right back to Tolchinski, who will kill some more clock. Tolchinski keeping it in the zone, spinning away from Devlin, and finally taken away by Devlin, and give to Noonan. Noonan up on left wing, over the line. 3-on-3, keeps going into the corner, spins away from the check of Ridge. Now 4 players in that corner. Devlin, though, lost the puck to Tolchinski, but taken by Venda Otelar with a long shot that goes wide as she was looking for a corner. Comes all the way around to the near side and out. Noonan. Back to Vanda Otelar. Gives it to Devlin. Devlin gets to the blue line, makes it dangerous behind the back pass. Somehow that was kept in, and Ammon sends it around to Grom. Grom Plays it in the corner. Now there's some time. Back to Vanda Otlar to Grom. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Vanda Otlar gives to Grom. They play catch. On the half wall. Down to Devlin. Devlin fanned on it. Gives it back to Vanda Otlar, but too far. As Devlin fanned on her initial pass and tried to make the second one, but Vanda Otlar had moved. And it went by her and all the way down. 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage. For the Eagles, they're second. And here's Wysocki. She gets to center. She's in over the line on right wing. Wysocki keeps going. Gets around one defender. Gets around two. Now goes behind the net looking for somebody to pass to. She finally leaves it there for McEvkis. McEvkis gets checked. Puck sent up the wall off the official. Kept in by Ammons. Nicely done. And McEvkis gives to Ammons. Ammons center point back to McEvkis. Cruising in. Takes a wrist shot high. Looking for the top corner. That was a nice shot. Gloved by Lalonde. And then some feistiness after the whistle. With 11 seconds remaining on the man advantage. And 5:44 gone in period 2. 2-2, but the first real good shot on this man advantage stopped by Lalonde.
Yeah, that was a good setup, but I'd still like to see posts when they have shooting opportunities, take them. When you have the shooting lane, take your shots.
Wysocki in the draw against McCaffrey. Won by McCaffrey, who's done an awesome job on the draw tonight. Puck sent up the wall, kept in by Pitter as the power play about to expire, and the puck sent all the way down the ice, and that'll kill the remaining 5 seconds, and the Eagles go to 0-2 on the man advantage. Pitter sends it up the wall looking for McEvkis, a little bit too far and taken back by the Hawks. Sent in by Paolucci. It goes high up into the air and off the netting, and that's out of play with 6:08 gone in period 2. 2-2 and a face-off. They're going to be, should be outside the zone, you'd think, but I guess it's going to be inside the zone to the left of Saunders between Blair and Peterson. Won by Peterson. Good job by the Eagles there to win that faceoff. Sent around the boards to McEvkis. McEvkis trying to get it out of the zone, fighting for it with Tulo. Puck right here in front of us on the blue line. Peterson's fighting for it. McEvkis, 4 players in this corner. Ridge keeps it in and sends it back behind Saunders. Chasing after it is Pitter. She tried to go around the net looking for Desai, but it ends up getting taken away by Donovan. Donovan sends it toward the net just wide. Taken by McEvkis, looking to get it out to Peterson, and she does. As she gets it to center. It goes back off to McEvkis. As the Hawks tried to send it back into the zone, and now it's pushed all the way into the Hawk zone and taken by Ridge. Ridge watched by Peterson. Feeds a nice backhand pass ahead to Blair, but then taken away nicely by Desai. Desai chasing in after it. Gets it on the right side in the near side corner. It goes behind her back. Looking for Peterson. It comes all the way here to Rose. Rose on the near side, kept in nicely by Webster. Webster gives it to Rose. Nice centering pass in front, cruising on the backhand, taking the rebound shot. As Rose had an opportunity after Kubicek cruised the slot and took a shot, then a long shot by Webster, swallowed whole by Lalonde with 7:12 gone in period 2. Still 2-2, and Coach, good job there by the Eagles, get some offensive pressure.
Yeah, really good job by Post moving pucks around and getting in some scoring opportunities, and hats off really to St. A's defenders too, identifying and picking up to negate those plays.
Rose, clean face-off, went back to Webster on right point, but then she gives it away to Tolchinsky. Up on right wing, over the line comes Jackson. Jackson leaves it for Weber. Weber dumps it around the net all the way around to the near side where Webster gets it first, looking for Kubicek, but too far and all the way down. It'll roll in on Lalonde. We'll have to glove it, so a field position play. Gives a face-off inside the Hawk zone with 7:33 gone in period 2. Still 2-2.
Yeah, we're kind of at that lull, that near midway point in the period where you'd like to see some team take advantage of that, jump up, push a little bit harder, take control, dictate some play.
Grom lost the face-off to Tolchinsky, and it comes out of the zone by Tolchinsky with a pass to Weber. Weber goes to her D player in Kuipers, and Kuipers dumps it all the way in and gets rubbed out for the effort. All the way behind the net, and there's going to be a penalty behind the play for that rub out. Because you can't do that in women's hockey. So 2 minutes for what they'll call interference at 7:47. And that'll send the best power play in the NEWHA to the man advantage for the second time today, where they're 0 for 1. And that's 2 minutes to Wysocki for interference at 7:47. Face off to Saunders right. Tolchinsky and Noonan in the draw. Won by Tolchinsky, but the Eagles ended up with it momentarily. Now back at the point. Tolchinsky on the half wall. Goes back to Schneiderman on left point. Back to Tolchinsky to Schneiderman. They play catch. Now she goes across all the way over to Martin. Martin on right point, comes down a little bit to the top of the circle, spins away, goes back to Schneiderman with the pass. Looking in front, but it goes off the leg all the way to the other side where Tolchinsky is. Back to Martin. Long shot through a screen. Saunders never saw it, but it went wide. Eagles fighting to get it out. Jet Devlin trying to get it out. Comes all the way around the boards to Vanda Otlar. She fans on her play to get it out. Kept in, though, as it goes into the Zamboni corner. Paolucci gives to Tolchinsky. Back to Martin, to Schneiderman, and they almost dangerously collide with each other as Martin comes to the left point. She keeps going. She's in the near side corner. She centered it in front, but nobody was there, and it goes all the way out the center, and she cleared the puck for the Eagles with a minute gone on the man advantage. Schneiderman in her own zone being watched by Devlin. Nice job by Devlin to be right on Schneiderman, but she manages to get around and keep going. She gets around a third player, comes in on right wing, over the line, into the Zamboni corner, looking in front for Donovan. She keeps it, comes around the other side, looking for the backdoor play. She had it, but it went off a leg of Vanda Otlar. And onto the half wall. Kept in. Falls down. No penalty. She gets up again. Gives to Schneiderman. Wrist shot off the body of Saunders. Nicely done. And hops over Donovan's stick. And she just gets it out. Did Ashley Noonan. And all the way down with 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Good job by Schneiderman. Better job by Saunders. Here comes Schneiderman back in over the line. On left wing. Goes across the ice with the pass to Jackson. Jackson being watched by two Eagles. Spins away from it. Schneiderman goes off the ice again. Again, feels like she's been out there the entire period. And that's a good thing if you're Brooklyn Schneiderman, the sophomore out of Helena, Montana, really playing well to be on the ice this long. Puck on the half wall with 10 seconds remaining on the man advantage for the Hawks. Their second, Weber in the Zamboni corner, watched by McEvkis, spins away with it. Wrestler has it on right point, goes down into the corner. Power play over. Eagles have killed it. Second one of the game. Pops free into the slot off of the body of Saunders and out. And Grom, who was in the box, couldn't take the pass, and the Eagles have killed off power play number 2 for St. A's. Back comes St. A's into the zone. That's going to be offsides as Jackson was checked at the line by Pitter, and that led to the offsides. And with 9:57 remaining in period number 2, we go to that 1 minute break after the 10-minute window. If I had a commercial to run, I'd run the commercial, but Coach, your thoughts so far the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, well, specifically I want to talk about that power play there with St. A's there. Their points are pretty open, but more than once they tried to force that puck into the middle where everyone is, and their post is packing it in. So, I mean, if you're St. A's, you want to move that puck up to the points where you can find those open lanes. And if you're post, keep throwing it into traffic, and we'll pick up your stick and negate the play.
Is it a design, Coach, when they center it through those maze of legs? Is it, I'm trying to get the pass across, or if I just hit a leg and it ends up where it's supposed to go, great? Because we see that on the men's side as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you're looking to send that puck. I mean, if you can hit that bumper that's wide open there, this setup is too tight for that bumper to be open. So my feeling is they're trying to just outnumber in front of the net, create that little bouncing around of a puck, and hopefully because you have more numbers, you find it and they don't.
All right, the 1 minute break after the 10-minute whistle is over. Face-off just outside the Eagles zone between Rose and Kyra Anderson, the freshman out of Regina, Saskatchewan. Won by Anderson, and back to the point, to the defense, of the Hawks. But then the Eagles take it away with a pass, looking for a flying Kubicek. A little bit too far. Now back to Herman. Herman tries to get it outside the zone, makes a pass off the stick of Anderson, and finally gets out the center. But then Anderson has to play it back to her defense of Claire Kuipers. Kuipers gets it into the Eagles zone, but the first one there is Pitters. And Pitter turns away with it, tries to get out. She dives, manages to make the play, and gets it up to center. And out comes Luckman. Luckman looking across. She got it there to Kubicek, but defensively solid was Juliana Herman. And out come St. A's again. Gets to center. Merritt rolling in. Players flying all over the place. Puck back to the point to Herman with a long shot. Blocked in front nicely by Webster. And then sent out by Kubicek as she was looking for a racing Luckman. Back in the zone comes Martin. Martin sends it behind the net all the way around to the Zamboni corner. Chasing after it is Desai. Tolchinsky in there first. Rimmed it around to Jackson. Jackson tried to keep it going, but a good play by the Eagle D to get it away. But Tolchinsky comes away with it in the slot, and then she's taken down by Rose, and that's going to be a penalty. A good check in men's hockey, but not one in women's, and that's going to lead to the third power play of the game for the Hawks, as Rose will go 2 for, I guess they call it body checking at 11:14.
Yeah, need some more discipline there. There's no need for that play. It didn't really take away any type of a scoring opportunity. Just gave a top power play another opportunity, another kick at the can.
Devlin and McCaffrey in the draw, won by McCaffrey. Back to the point, comes over here for Popick. Popick, South Windsor, Connecticut native, on left point, feeds it down onto the half wall to Jackson. Jackson goes behind the net, looks in front off a leg as Donovan was back there as well. Comes back to Popick. Popick, left point, gives to Jackson. Jackson feeds it down to Weber. Weber cruising in, but no angle, and sticked away by Saunders. Played back to Jackson on the half wall. Jackson with some time and space. Jackson goes all the way across for a tip pass. Wrestler gave it to Popick, who gave it down low again. Weber in the near corner, tries to center it out in front, gives to Jackson. Jackson feeds it nicely in front to Popick, who takes a shot right on. Stopped it later in the crease. It's still there. It's under Saunders. And finally a whistle. A nice save by Saunders with Weber hanging out right by the far side post. But it was under the pads of Saunders, and she finally sat on it with 1:18 remaining on the man advantage and 8:03 remaining in period 2.
Yeah, that particular power play was set up for the strong side on our broadcast side here. So Poston needs to pressure harder on the wall in order to try to take away those tic-tac passes that St. A's is able to do right now.
Tolchinsky wins it clean to Martin, gives it over here for Schneiderman, takes a shot off the blocker and into the netting behind Saunders as Schneiderman back out there again. Wish we had a way to track her time on ice. I feel like in the 32 minutes of game time, she's probably played 25.
Yep, she's been visible quite a bit.
Very visible. Face-off won by the Eagles, but played into the corner to Paolucci, where Donovan gives to Tolchinsky. She reversed the flow, but the only one there was Pitter. Pitter tries to get it out of the zone, but Schneiderman keeps it in on left point. Schneiderman changes positions with Martin, gives the puck to Martin. Martin now on left point, sends a shot toward the net off the mask of Saunders and into the netting behind her with 54 seconds remaining on the man advantage.
Yeah, the best defense here is to win some draws so we can get the puck out.
Yeah, puck has been in the zone this entire power play again. Back to Martin on right point. Gives it over here to Schneiderman on left point. They play a more traditional power play versus the umbrella. Gives it to Jackson. Jackson with some space. Comes over here to Martin. Now center point. Takes a shot off a deflection. In front. A beautiful save by Saunders. Off the rebound. She robs Schneiderman from 5 feet out. Tolchinsky goes across. And finally the Eagles get it out of the zone as it goes off Grom's leg. Now Grom chasing after her. She dives and dumps it all the way down. Good effort by Grom to get it behind the net and finally kill some time and get a line change. But Saunders, a beautiful rebound save with her right pad to rob Schneiderman here on the power play with 15 remaining on it. Eagles trying to keep it from going back in the zone. It goes back in the zone and sent off Paolucci. Paolucci cruising the net, stopped by Saunders again as she took a puck, cruised in, took a shot, and Saunders stopped her with the left pad this time. And that'll end the power play where the Hawks go 0 for 3. And now a whistle behind the play. Coach, I didn't see what that was, but there's a whistle behind the play for interference with 1 second remaining on the Eagle power play. It's going to go to the Hawks' Paolucci. So that'll give a 4-on-4 for 1 second before the Eagles will go to their third power play at 13-14. Abigail Blair, 2 for interference. That'll end the Hawk power play with 1 second remaining on it. So they'll fall to 0 for 3 on the man advantage. So good job by the Eagle penalty kill, which has struggled at times to hold the number 1 power play to 0 for 3.
Yeah, they're getting better today.
Wysocki in the draw, 4-on-4 over as Rose comes off for Peterson. And the Eagles are on their third man advantage of the game. Good job by the Eagles, Wysocki, to back check and keep the puck in to Van Otelaar. Van Otelaar on left point, sends it toward the net, deflected in front. Grom had an opportunity. Another shot rebound. Wysocki tries to recenter it out in front. Diving forward is Lalonde. And kind of a scramble drill. One shot got onto Lalonde, and then it bounced around in a scramble drill. And 18 seconds into the man advantage, they draw a face-off to Lalonde's right. Good pressure there by the Eagles on the start of the man advantage. Wysocki and McCaffrey in the draw. McCaffrey's been phenomenal in the face-off draw. She continues that record. I think she's undefeated. We'll have to check that later on to see where she is, but it feels like she's won every face-off. Now on the near side, half wall comes away with it as Ammons. Ammons trying to get the pass, but stick checked away nicely by an aggressive Maddie McCaffrey and sent all the way down into the Eagle zone. Schneiderman still on the ice, chasing Van Otelaar. Van Otelaar had her puck roll off her stick. She kept control of it, but but had to stop her momentum and go back behind her net with 1:15 to go on the man advantage and 6 minutes to go in period 2. Puck goes off Wysocki's stick. She chases it down to the red line, continues into the blue line, checked by Schneiderman into the wall. Still checking her into the wall, but the Eagles come away with it. Back to Van Otlar. Van Otlar dangerously across for a shot by Noonan that gets blocked in front, and then rebound in front and sent all the way, well, back to center, because Van Otlar got back there to stop the clear all the way down the ice, and Eagles will try again. Van Otlar gets to the red line, backhands it high in the air, just below the netting. So good clear, and a nice play by Peterson. Get behind the net first. She chips it up the wall. In there to help is McEvkis. 4 players down in that corner. The Hawks have it. They try to center it. Dangerously pops free in front. Kept in the zone by Pitter. Pitter to the side. She sends it toward the net. It rolls closer to Lalonde, but not on, and now onto the half wall. McEvkis had it for a moment, taken off her stick, and ripped all the way down with 25 remaining on the man advantage. Saunders will play it for Pitter. Pitter with 5 remaining in the period and 20 on the man advantage. The Eagles third. 2-2 the score. No scoring in the second period. Tolchinsky chasing Pitter behind the net. Pitter lost the puck and then just kind of dove on the ice to prevent Tolchinsky from coming out in front. Taken out of the play by Desai now. The Eagles fighting for it behind the net. Pitter is still fighting for it and finally comes free to Desai as the man advantage will expire. The Eagles fall to 0-3. Desai gets to the red line. A big hit as Paolucci comes out of the box. She got rubbed by Devlin. Unexpected. Unfortunately, didn't get a penalty to Devlin. Nice play by Grom. Grom sends it down to Devlin, looking for it. Devlin chasing it behind the net. Comes to the near side, goes back to the point to Pitter. Pitter goes across to the side. The side takes a shot toward the net. Deflected in front by Grom and wide. Grom now comes away with it. Comes into the front with a backhand that goes over the net. Below the netting, though. So play still continues. Coming out the other side is Devlin. Devlin taken down. No call there. And out comes Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky for the Hawks. Gives it over here on left wing over the line to Jackson. Jackson cruising in, trying to get toward the net, but a nice poke check by Pitter. Kept her from getting a shot off and into the near side corner with 4 minutes remaining in the second period. 2-2 the score. Tolchinsky sends it toward the net. It'll go off of nothing somehow and still live in play. Devlin tried to get it out, had stolen away by Donovan. Donovan cruising, takes a shot, blocked in front by the stick of Grom, who lost her stick, has to go back to get it, but Noonan now trying to avoid the stick, gets around it, pops it up in the air and gets it out to center, where Devlin was chasing after it. Off of Donovan, Grom takes it, backhanded into the zone as the puck is just bouncing around and touching everybody, and Pitter finally sends a puck into the Hawk zone, taken by Tulo. Tulo looking quickly across the ice for Paolucci, a little bit too far. The Eagles will play it at their defense as it's getting sloppy out here in the last couple of minutes. Puck bounces into the St. A's bench with 3:16 remaining in the second period. Still 2-2, and after that power play, coach, a very sloppy 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, no one able to settle that puck down. Right now, puck looks like it grew some feet.
Yeah, everybody trying to do a little bit too much, it seems like, as well. McCaffrey and Rose out there for the faceoff just outside the Eagles zone, won by McCaffrey. Rose tried to go forward with it more so than anything, but McCaffrey will get credit for that win. And the puck sent back into the Eagles zone. Larson tried to send it around, didn't get it there. Now played by Rose, who will try to come out with it. Gives it to Patfield. Feeds the puck into the middle, looking for Wysocki. A little bit too short, and then a collision right at the blue line. As one of the it looked like Herman went down right in the slot area, managed to get her glove, then it pops up into the air right in front of us and into the Eagle zone, and then a penalty behind the play for interference as Paolucci is taken down. And it looks like the Hawks will go to their 4th man advantage of the game. As it's going to be Brooke Larson for interference at 17-18, sending the Hawks to their 4th power play of the game. Eagles playing with fire a little bit in this 2-2 game. Peterson and Tolchinsky. Peterson wins it, spins away as Ammons. Ammons trying to skate it out, gets it to the blue line, and then gets it all the way down. Good start for the Eagles to get it out. They've really struggled to get the puck out on the 3 previous man advantages for St. A's. Martin carries it in, rubbed out nicely by Van de Otlar. Ammons in the corner, holds it there, pins it in the Zamboni corner. Now checked off by Tulo. Tulo takes the puck away, gives it back to the point to Martins on right point. Comes all the way over here for Schneiderman. Schneiderman holds, waits, takes a shot, deflected in front, rebound, and Saunders got over to make the save. The rebound squirted out to the other side, and Tolchinsky had a wide open cage, and Saunders got over there to make the save. Another great save by Hannah Saunders. Schneiderman Down on the half wall, comes back to left point, now goes to right point. Leaves it for Martin, but a little bit too far, forcing Martin to skate for it. She gives it down into the corner to Hartnell. And a shot taken by Martin, that was Paolucci. Martin took the shot from left point, stopped by Saunders. Martin gets it back, goes across to Schneiderman, back to Martin, now center point. Toward the net, looking for a deflection, it just goes wide. Eagles need to get it out. Fanned on the shot there by McEvkis. She tries to get out, still fighting for it. It's right there at the blue line. It's 1-on-4 with St. A's having the 4. Schneiderman spins away on the half wall. 45 remaining on the power play. Gives it to Popik, who's now out there. He's taking Martin's place. As the Hawks will change, being that they're offensively close to their bench. Popik, center point, gives to Schneiderman. Schneiderman goes across, wide open to Weber. Shot stopped by Saunders. It's at the side of the net. She sits down and makes the save, as it took an extra second for Weber to unload the cannon, and that gave Saunders time to get over and make the save. And with 32 seconds remaining on the man advantage and 1:13 in the period clock, nice couple of saves there by Saunders to keep this game at 2-2.
Yeah, so far your best penalty killer needs to be your goaltender, and she's been up to the task.
She's been phenomenal in making that save. Again, an innocent sort of shot centering pass that goes off a leg, came free to the other side, and Tolchinsky was wide open and couldn't get it past Saunders, who got over there to hug the far post and make a 10-bell save. That's 2 or 3 on power plays in the second period alone for Hannah Saunders. Faceoff just tied up, and finally McCaffrey lost the faceoff. Good job there by the Eagles, fighting for it. Back to the point to Popik. Gives to Jackson. Jackson goes to the right side. Takes a shot toward the net. Blocked in front. A player goes flying for the Eagles. That was Desai. And momentarily a 5-on-3 in front. Wide open. Jackson centered in front. Pops free. Popik keeps it in, though, with a stick close to being a high stick. Gives back to Jackson. 5 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Jackson gives it down low to Weber. Rolls off her stick with 3. Back to Jackson. Right in the slot area. Right at the dot. Takes a shot. Stopped by Saunders, who got her pad on at that time again. More of the blocker than the pad. Jackson comes for a power play over. Hawks 0 for 4 somehow, and Saunders has stood on her head. Popik on left point, sends it toward the net, looking for a backdoor play to Wrestler. It's popped away free. Devlin trying to get it out the center, and she does it. Noonan can have a breakaway from the blue line in. It might be a 2-on-0. Noonan walks in, holds, wait, shoots, and stop. Rebound opportunity for Grom is robbed. Lalonde got 2 saves, 1 on the Noonan breakaway and 2 on the rebound on Grom. Here's Noonan on the half wall, looking to get it back to Pitter with 14 remaining in the period. 5 players sort of right on the half wall there, looking just to sit on the puck with 9. Comes free into the corner. Devlin fighting for it. Sent all the way down the ice. Might be an icing, but there's not going to be enough time to do anything with it if they get it there with 1.3 to go. End-to-end action. Saunders making phenomenal saves, and then Lalonde robbing Noonan on a breakaway, and Grom on the rebound. I need some oxygen.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you live close and you can come down to this game for the third period, you should probably do that, because this is a good game. Everyone, this is a good game.
We haven't been high atop here in a while. It might be the lack of oxygen too, Coach. But yeah. It's been a fun one.
Yeah, it's been good.
They've pulled Saunders for the last 1.3, 6 attackers on. Not a bad play. Wysocki, who's going to go forward with it on the faceoff if she can. As Devlin and Rose looking to drive the goal, Wysocki did go forward with it, but it deflected into the near side corner, and that ends period number 2. An exciting 2 periods here at the Sports Center of Connecticut this afternoon, and we'll go to intermission 2-2. Better of the play for St. A's. They've had 3 power plays, but the Eagles have managed to kill them all off. Saunders the best penalty killer of them all. But we stand still 2-2, which means the Eagles can hold their heads up knowing they're tied going into the third period.
Yep, still anybody's game.
So that's where we stand, 2-2 after 2. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with your look around the NEWHA that we do here at the end of every second period here on the network. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/Go Post Eagles. Second intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I'm Jeff Nelson, where the score is 2-2 between St. A's and your Eagles. Good one here this afternoon. As Coach said at the end of the second period, if you live close by, get over here. You don't want to miss this third period. And a game that has been very exciting end to end between both teams here this afternoon at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Final score in the men's basketball game for the Eagles. They lose at Jefferson 77-61. So now the Eagles on a 2-game losing streak. And they fall to 12-4 overall and 3-2 in conference. That'll almost assuredly knock them out of the top 25 in Division II. As we do in the second period, we go around the NEWHA, as we do at the end of the second period at every Post University women's hockey game. We go around the NEWHA, and it's brought to you by Post University. For more information on their degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. And also, when we get to the next segment, we'll get you updated on all the assists as well and all the goals from the first period, as we finally have everything in order. Your NEWHA Player of the Week is Josie Mendenzun, who we saw a couple weeks ago. She had a strong weekend distributing the puck during Stonehill's 2-game weekend set at Assumption. The junior forward dished out a team-high 4 assists and finished with a +3 on-ice rating. Over the last 6 games, Mendenzun leads her squad with 7 points, all assists, and a +9 rating. She is tied for third in the NEWHA with 11 assists, while leading the conference at a +12 this year. Other considerations for Player of the Week on the honor roll: Anna Camu from Franklin Pierce, who we'll see next weekend, sophomore out of Brunico, Italy. Jenna Champlain from Assumption, the freshman from Peabody, Massachusetts. Michaela Lanto from LIU, the senior out of Wasilla, Alaska. And Paige McNeil, the senior from Sacred Heart out of Shakopee, Minnesota. The Defensive Player of the Week, Cassandra Johnson from Assumption, the freshman out of Wilton, California. Johnson was a vital part of Assumption's 2-1 week. On Tuesday against Sacred Heart, she blocked 3 of her 5 shots in the game's final moments to secure the 1-0 win over the Pioneers. At Stonehill on Friday, she scored her second goal of the year while blocking a pair of shots and being a +1. Johnson capped off the weekend with a 4 block shot performance in Assumption's 5-2 win over Stonehill on Saturday. On the year, she leads the team with 43 block shots, with the next closest on the team having a mere 28. Other considerations for Defensive Player of the Week on the honor roll: Lily Barrett from Stonehill, sophomore out of Little Canada, Minnesota. Bree-eyed, the junior from Bell River, Ontario. She plays for LIU. Juliana Coleman from Sacred Heart, the defenseman sophomore out of Washington, Pennsylvania. And Maggie Cornetta, the freshman defender sophomore out of Napierville, Illinois. Goaltender of the week is Jillian Petruno out of Sacred Heart, sophomore from Wixom, Michigan. Petruno earned the starting nod for all 3 contests last week for the Pios. She logged 2 games with over 20 saves, including a 32-save shutout on Friday in Sacred Heart's 6-2 win over St. A's. Petruno also earned her third 40-plus save performance of the season in Sacred Heart's 1-0 overtime loss to the Hawks Saturday, stopping 48 shots, including 22 in the final period, to push the game to overtime. Petruno averaged a 1.35 goals against average through the 3-game week and posted a .968 save percentage. She has yet to allow more than 2 goals in a game since November 25. The honor roll for the goaltender of the week, Grace Glassrud for your Post University Eagles, the senior out of Delano, Minnesota. Jill Hurdle from Franklin Pierce, the sophomore of Highland Park, Illinois. Annika Lavender from St. Michael's, the goaltender, sophomore from Plymouth, Massachusetts. Eve Stone from Stonehill, the sophomore out of North Billerica, Massachusetts, who had a couple of shutouts here last couple weeks ago. And Jaden Weiser, the goaltender from Assumption, the freshman out of Albertville, Minnesota. And then the rookie of the week is Jenna Champlain from Assumption, the freshman out of Peabody, Mass. She had a goal and 2 assists in Assumption's 2-1 week. On Tuesday, she scored the lone goal in the Greyhounds' 1-0 win over Sacred Heart. Champlain finished the week with a pair of assists in Assumption's 5-2 win over Stonehill. She was a +3 and 56.67% on her faceoffs. Isabella Chaput from Sacred Heart, Anna Jurlo from St. Michael's, and Peyton Wise from Stonehill round out the Rookie of the Week honor roll. Other games in the NEWHA today at 7:10 p.m. LIU travels to Assumption, and Stonehill travels to St. Michael's. NEWHA standings: LIU leads the way 16-8 overall, 16-2 in conference for 32 points. St. A's, who we're seeing tonight, 14-9-1 overall, 14-4-1 in conference for 29 points. Stonehill, 12-13 overall, 12-7-0 in conference for 24 points. Franklin Pierce, 11-12-0 overall, 10-10-0 in conference for 22 points. Sacred Heart, 11-16-0 overall, 10-9-0 in conference for 22 points. Assumption, 7-17-1 overall, 7-11-1 in conference for 15 points. Your Eagles, 6-19-0 overall, 6-13-0 in conference for 12 points. And St. Mike's, 0-19-0 overall, 0-25-0 in conference for 0 points. Upcoming schedule for the Lady Eagles, they will host Franklin Pierce this weekend with games on Friday at 8:10 p.m. right here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. And then on Saturday, following day, they will play at 4 o'clock up here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. So back-to-back games this weekend. Coach and I will be on the broadcast Friday at 8:10 right here on the CACC network and youtube.com/Go Post Eagles. That's your look around the NEWHA for a week in January, as today is Friday, January 20th. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a recap of the second period. We'll get you updated on all the goals and the assists as well. You're listening and watching the Post University Women's Hockey and NEWHA Hockey Division I on the CACC network and go youtube.com/Go Post Eagles. We'll get it right at some point. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut, high atop here at the Twin Rinks, where the game is still tied at 2 as we are in the second period intermission. Recap brought to you by Post University. For more information on their degree programs to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. Before we get into the scoring, because there was none in the second period, we'll get you up to date on all the assists as well. Shots on goal in the second period, 17 for St. A's, a two-period total of 35. For the Eagles, 7, a two-period total of 18. It doesn't necessarily tell the tale with a 35-18 shot advantage, but either way, it's still the 2-2. Face-offs, though, a little bit more of the story. 13-8 for St. A's, 29-12 overall. Over 70% of the face-off draw for the Hawks today. Led the way by Maddie McCaffrey, who's 12-1 in the face-off dot. That's only a 92.3 face-off percentage. here through 2 periods.
Not bad.
Let's get you caught up with all the goals and assists from the first period because we finally got everything caught up. 8:50 of the first period, it was Audrey Jackson, her 7th of the season, from Ella Ridge, who got the second assist, and Natalie Tolchinsky. That was at 8:50 and made it 1-0. The Eagles tied it on Macy Peterson's third from Tamari Grom, her 5th assist of the season, and that was 1-1. At 12:46, Sajel Desai, her 3rd goal of the season from Jody Rose, and added an assist to Maddie Noonan. That's her 7th assist and her team leading 10th point. That was at 12:46 and gave the Eagles a 2-1 lead. And then at 13:21, Natalie Tolchinsky, her first goal of the game, 14th of the season. She's got 2 points in the game. Assist from Jackson also has 2 points in the game. Both of them have a goal and assist. That came at 13:21. And that's where we are. 2-2 as we get ready to start the third. Team's getting ready to come out to take the ice. Coach, it's been a fun one. The shots don't necessarily tell the story. But the Hawks 0 for 4 in the man advantage, so the best power play 0 for 4. The worst penalty kill 4 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, you got to credit Post for being able to kill that off. I mean, to me, and again, you alluded to it, one of the more significant stats is the face-offs one, because every time you lose a draw in your zone, you're forced to play defense before you can recover that puck and then go out on offense, which is zone time for your opponent, and that begins to wear on you as the game goes down. So hopefully Post can be a bit more effective and bear down on some of those draws and find some way to negate. Even if you tie up that center and let your winger come in and pick the puck up, so you're not looking to try to actually win the draw, just don't lose the draw clean.
This will be interesting in a lot of ways, Coach. This is period 6 of a 6-period weekend. You're down at least one player to start the game because Tristan Curry is injured and not able to play today. So you're playing one short to begin with. You're playing a team that's second in the conference. You're playing well. You're tied at 2. You don't feel like they lead the nation in being shut out at 13, but you have 2 goals, so you're not scrambling to get a goal. Where do you find it for this 6th period?
I don't know. I think if you're Coach Silverman, maybe you talk about the fact that Tampa Bay Lightning ran with 11 forwards and won many a Stanley Cup doing just that. So it means a lot of ice time, and as a coach, honestly, you can get the players that are playing well out on the ice a little bit more often and come up with some different combinations and find some different things to throw at your opponent.
We could also call my father, who's a Tampa Bay Lightning season ticket holder, who could also give you tips.
Is he?
He is.
That's awesome.
He is. I get pictures every day, every game of wherever he's sitting in that building.
Perfect. Plus, you got a warm place to go visit.
Plus, he's also smart enough to sell some of the playoff tickets to make back the money for the season ticket.
Well, say, there you go. Entrepreneurship.
Never said he wasn't a dumb man. Teams have taken the ice. Started the third period. St. A's in their road blues going left to right as we start the third period. Eagles in their home whites going right to left. Peterson and McCaffrey. McCaffrey extending her 92.3 percentage in faceoff draws as she won that one. But the Eagles end up with the puck and sent into the zone. Chasing after it is Kubicek. Puck rimmed up the half wall to McCaffrey. She tries to get it out. She just does. But Luckman tried to send it back in, but Kubicek hadn't come back out, so she couldn't touch it. Paolucci at the red line goes around Van Altlaar, sends it all the way into the Eagles zone where Peterson gets there first. Should have been icing because it was behind the red line, but not called. Puck not out as Schneiderman's there. Schneiderman closes and takes a shot, gloved by Saunders. It pops free because she couldn't control it, and the Eagles managed to come up with it, and Larson sends it off a body and just out the center. Break for the Eagles there. Luckman skates a little bit too far around Ressler and taken by Schneiderman. Schneiderman at the red line, gets to the blue line, carrying it in, makes a move into the middle, continues forward, keeps trying to go with it, and a backhand that just goes wide as Schneiderman went through 4 players, got a backhand, and it went wide. Then back to center to Kuipers. Kuipers gives it to Tolchinsky as St. A's makes a player change, and then she gives it away to Grom. Grom comes in on right wing, takes a shot toward the net, makes the save, is Lalonde. Grom goes back behind the net to Wysocki. It goes off her leg. Wysocki fighting with it. Back in there to help is that's Patfield, not McKevgis. Comes back to the point area where Pitter keeps it in. She sends it back into that corner where Patfield tipped it up the wall to Wysocki, but then taken away by the Hawks. Here's Jackson. Goal and assist in this game gives to Kuipers. Kuipers sends it into the near side corner. Chasing after it is Desai. She's got her 3rd goal of the year in this game. Coming out the other side with a shot is Kuipers, stopped by Saunders. And away comes Desai. Desai trying to get it out of the zone. Instead, I think she might have sent it into the benches, and she did. With 1:42 gone in the third period, 2-2 the score. Both teams with opportunities early in the third period, so the feeling out process is over.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, especially second game of the weekend, this deep into the game, they know each other. Just go at it.
Face off to Saunders right between Rose and Donovan, won by Rose. Good job by the Eagles there to win a face-off. Webster skates away from Donovan, but then gives it away to Tulo. It goes back to the point, and then a fan cross D-to-D pass to Popik. Goes out of the zone, and Popik, the South Windsor, Connecticut native, sends it back in around the boards to Webster. Webster of the Eagles pops it up the wall. Excuse me, that was Ammons, actually. And then Ammons got it on the stick of Rose. Rose gives to Devlin. Devlin looking to go across the ice for a racing Noonan, too far. Noonan will try to get behind the net in after. Devlin goes in to help the fight for it. Comes free with it. Centered in front to Rose, who had her shot rimmed off of Popik, who scramble drill got in front of Rose, who was wide open between the circles. Popik got in there, had it roll off her stick and above Lalonde. Lalonde goes out, taps Popik on the arm. Thanks her for getting in the way of that wide open opportunity, and the face-off to Lalonde's left. Good opportunity there for the Eagles. A similar play they made in the first period, similar result. Face-off won by the Eagles. Peterson trying to get her stick down as McEvkis won the face-off. Fighting after it is Hartnell. A couple of 18s pinning each other on the half wall right in front of the St. A's bench. Kept in, though, for a long shot taken by Larson that's sticked away by Lalonde. Played behind the net by Popik. She spins away from the check of Luckman. Feeds it up the near side wall. Merritt taken down, no penalty. Sort of a dangerous hit, though, as Venda Otlar came down to make the play. Back in is McEvkis with a long shot gloved by Lalonde, but she couldn't control it. Pops free on the far side. Now to the near side it goes. Kept in by Peterson. Peterson trying to feed it into the corner. Two Hawks there with two Eagles. Coming away with it is Ridge. She sends it all the way around to Popik, and she'll try to come out of the zone. Makes a fake pass, gives it to Anderson, though, and Anderson's got some speed on right wing. She's in over the line. Anderson holds, waits, shot, stopped by Saunders. Swallows it whole, and then takes a stick to the face for her efforts by, looked like Weber. Unintentional, but she got her in the neck, so Saunders now checking out the mask and checking underneath her helmet. Don't think any penalties are going to be called here. 3:03 gone in period 3, 2-2 the score.
Yep, no, she looks fine. Referee just making sure, and we'll set things back up, and we'll get a draw. Probably explaining to her what he saw. She's probably talking about why there was no call on that play.
Got her explanation. Whether she's satisfied is a different story, and a face-off to her left. Won by McCaffrey again. She's going to try to get to 99% before this game is over. Here comes Patfield. She gets to the red line, tries to go around Martin. She does and dumps it in. Wysocki chasing in after it against Ressler. Ressler makes a nice pass up to Paolucci, who gives a quick pass in. She's got McCaffrey breaking if she can get it to her, but she doesn't. Schneiderman looking for a racing McCaffrey. They got that pass to her way late. She was streaking down wide open and never made the play. Diving is McCaffrey, though, to try to recenter it. Instead, Schneiderman tried to come up with it, and out come the Eagles, who avoid disaster. As again, she was wide open, and then Kessler takes down Wysocki. Let's see if there's a penalty. Doesn't appear to be one, as Wysocki took a shot to the face. I guess they're saying it's more of a natural collision versus a hit. So now Wysocki trying to go back to get her pound of flesh. Got to be careful. You want to hit Schneiderman, but you don't want to take a penalty. 4 minutes gone in the third, still 2-2. Here's Kuiper at center, in over the line, sends it towards Saunders. She'll stick it away in the near side corner, but Kuipers gets there first, recenters it off the side of the net, where Rose will play it. Rose spins away from their defending number, Jackson. Feeds it up the wall on the far side, tries to get it out, but kept in by Weber. Weber feeds it to Tolchinsky, who gives to Jackson. Jackson closes in with a lift shot. Stopped by Saunders aggressively at the top of her crease with 4:14 gone in period 3. Still 2-2, and Saunders has played well.
Yeah, it's good action right now. Again, Post needs to meet this push by St. Anselm's here. Meet it, win some draws here, and get going.
The old adage, the next goal is huge, is probably an understatement. Shot taken wide by Herman. Comes into the near side corner where Weber and Tolchinsky play with it. Weber comes out, gets to the circle, turns with a shot toward the net. It goes off Rose's leg. Eagles trying to get it out. They go high in the air, but too far this will be, as racing after it is Herman, and that should be an icing. Thus creating another face-off in the Eagle zone. And
yeah, that's something that they don't need. I mean, they need to be a little bit better in managing this puck in this third period. So you don't want to keep going back with the icings, considering the success that St. A's has had in the face-off circle. Good
news for the Eagles is that was that McCaffrey wasn't in the draw. Then a shot taken on a bad angle, stopped by Saunders again, as Donovan took the shot on a bad angle. Gracie Donovan, the junior out of Orchard Park, New York, probably a Buffalo Bills fan, you'd think.
Yeah, and again, you could see where, the icing seemed like a bit of an innocuous play, but right there, the icing, lose the draw, a grade A scoring chance for your opponent.
Blair wins it again. Shot taken off the draw, right on. Rebound just deflects wide. Saunders makes another save. And then Larson was going near side, changed direction to the far side off Mikevsky's stick, and then out of the zone, taken by Peterson. She gets it up on right wing to Kubicek. 2-on-1. Kubicek with a shot, gloved by Lalonde, as she had a 2-on-1. Similar to the play in the first period where the Eagles scored, except this time Lubacek shot high instead of low and left no rebound as it was gloved by Lalonde.
Yeah, that was set up again for that pass-off pad play for sure.
Peterson and you-know-who in the face-off draw. Let's see. A Gehrig-like streak going from McCaffrey. She wins another draw, and good for her. She's played well today on the face-off draw in particular. Schneiderman tries to play it at center. Stepping up into it nicely was Larson, who kicked it all the way back to the Hawk D. And then a long pass into the air, kicked away by Vanda Otlar, who gives it up to Kubicek and back into the Hawk zone. Popick reversing the flow to Ridge. Ridge has some time and space, comes up with it on the right side, carries with it to center, gets to the red line, dumping it into Saunders, who will just put a glove on it as Ridge goes in after it. So a field position save. And now a face-off with 5:31 gone in period 3, still 2-2. Eagles with a good chance, though, on the 2-on-1. They also had a breakaway in the previous period and a rebound off of that breakaway that Lalonde stopped, so she's really settled in after giving up the 2 goals in the first period. Face-off to Saunders left, won by the Eagles, Grom. Wysocki goes back in the corner. Pitter tries to rim it up the wall, but Ressler keeps it in. Ressler goes to the near side corner, holds and waits, gives it to Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky looking for Jackson, got it to Jackson. She centered it in front, couldn't do it as they do the cycle drill. Tolchinsky, though, being checked nicely and gave the puck away. Grom, long pass, it's going to go into the bench area. Actually over the bench area, off to one of the banners here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, as the Eagles had an opportunity on a 3-on-2 break. Sometimes it might be better just to carry that puck out versus that long cross-eyed pass. It looks beautiful when it works, but when it doesn't, it ends up in somebody's bench.
Yeah, again, you want to possess the puck as much as you possibly can, so I agree, for sure.
Eagles, good win on the faceoff, had the puck momentarily, but then Jackson gave it to Tolchinsky, who gives it back to Jackson. Jackson sends it in around the boards, all the way around. Chasing after it is Pitter. Pitter gets there first before the Hawk player could get there. Scrambled away. That player was Weber. So good job by the Eagles, and it's played behind the net. 4 players, 2 Eagles, 2 Hawks. Tolchinsky fights off the check of Pitter, spins away, goes toward the blue line, and back behind the net. Still in the corner. Eagles finally get it with a nice play to Noonan. Noonan, there's a cross-ice play. If it was tape to tape, it would have been beautiful, but never got out of the zone. Jackson now comes back in with a shot, stopped by Saunders, as Jackson came rolling in with it as the Eagles couldn't get it out, and then sent off the center all the way down. That might not get that shoe. Let's see. No icing, as it barely got to the red line, as that was a challenge to see if it could have get there. So no icing, so the puck now in the Hawk zone. Noonan behind the net comes away with it, tried to center it in front. Went off a leg and back towards Noonan, and then McKevkis falls down. Puck right in the slot area, taken by Peterson, who's fighting for it against 2 Hawks, now 3 Hawks, now 4 Hawks. All the Hawks right in that same area, and finally they come away with it. Here's Jackson at the red line, sends it high in the air and goes down, and she goes off on a line change, and Webster will chase after it. Webster checked off by Tulo before she could reverse the flow to Ammons. 5 players in the far side corner, taken by Peterson. Peterson gets it to Ammons. Ammons goes off the glass nicely and out the center where Kuipers will play it. Kuipers, dangerous pass in the middle, taken away by Kubicek. Kubicek looking for Luckman. Couldn't get it to Luckman as Tulo stole it, and she gave it to Kuipers with 12:25 remaining in the third, still 2-2. Nice play by Ammons to step up, get to the red line, dump it back in, where Luckman will chase after it. Lalonde stops it behind the net for Herman. Herman reverses the flow, comes out the other way, but nice stick check nicely by Kubicek, and she sends it back into the zone. Luckman chasing in after it. Kubicek comes up on the near side corner wall to stop the puck. She's checked off by Herman. Couple of 17s right in the near side corner. Blair goes across the ice looking for Tulo, a little bit too far, but then overskated by Larson, but Grom there to back it up and dangerously goes into the slot area, and Vanda Otelar sends it up in the air to Luckman, but too far and too high. and played by Herman. Back in, trying to go through too many people. Looked like an offside, so no call, but Schneider comes in. Schneider with a nice pass across, but goes off the leg, and a long shot that got fanned down by Herman. She gets another try at it and goes through a maze and deflected into the near side corner. Rebound centered in front. Vanda Otlar plays it to Patfield. She'll get it out of the zone to the blue line. She'll try to go across the ice. Popick goes low to make the play before it could get across the ice, and out of the Hawk zone it goes. Pops free at center. Patfield goes back to the defense of Desai. Desai to Wysocki at center. Wysocki tries to push it forward. They did. They got it into the Hawk zone. Falling down is Rose as she goes in after with a lot of speed. Eagles trying to keep it right on that half wall. Comes free to the point. Desai couldn't keep it in. Fan on her shot, and a player goes flying at Schneiderman into the wall. They're going to call a penalty there. I didn't see who hit her, but Schneiderman took a heavy hit into the board. Here comes McCaffrey. Leaves it for Schneider. Long shot stopped by Saunders. And the Hawks will go to their 5th power play of the game. Don't know if that will be interference or checking at 9:04. Penalty is to Sejil Desai, the junior out of Gardner, Massachusetts. And a face-off to Saunders' right as the Hawks go to their 5th power play of the game. Peterson in the draw against Tolchinsky, won by Peterson. Ammons tries to get it out and does, and here's an opportunity for the Eagles. 1-on-1, carrying it in over the line. Peterson, she tried to cut into the center area. Martin cut her off and took the puck away. Now Martin in the Zamboni corner, watched by Peterson, and takes it away. Here's Martin. Gets it out of the zone with a pass too far for Paolucci. Chasing after it is too low. She's going to win the race to the near side corner. Ammons is there. She reverses the flow all the way to the near side, from far to near, And now Schneiderman on right point. Schneiderman to Tolchinsky as they play catch. On the half wall, Tolchinsky closing in with a shot gloved by Saunders. Saunders took the near side, wanted her to shoot there, and then gloved it with 10:22 to go in the third and a minute 26 to go on the 5th power play of the game for the Hawks.
Yeah, she had some open ice over the shoulder there, over the shoulder there, but just wasn't able to elevate the puck.
Peterson back-to-back wins on the face-off draw for the Eagles there. Good job, but the puck comes free to Tulo in the slot. Who'll go back to Schneiderman on left point. Schneiderman, D to Martin. Martin reversing positions, gives to Schneiderman. She closes in, looking for a shot, but blocked in front nicely by Peterson. Schneiderman has to chase it down in the near side corner and gives it back to Martin at center point. Gives it down in the bumper position to Tolchinsky. Back to Martin, who sends a shot through the slot area that goes off the leg of Peterson, and back to Schneiderman on right point. A minute gone on the man advantage. The 5th power play for the Hawks. Martin to Tolchinsky. Tolchinsky, top of the near circle. Now comes to the top of the slot. Cruising in. Gives it back door. Looking for Martin to take the shot. Saunders with the save and gloves it down. And I think it's under her. And finally, and some pushing and shoving, as I'm not sure Saunders had full control. And St. A's players were chopping at it. And Tamari Grom took offense and threw somebody to the ice, the sophomore out of Livonia, Michigan. And with 9:41 to go in the third and 45 seconds remaining on the power play, I think a couple of coincidental minors here as Tulo's in the box, and also goes Danny Ammons, the freshman from Centennial, Colorado. Although right now there are 2 St. A's players in the box and 2 Eagles in the box, so let's see if the Eagles end up getting this to a 4-on-4. I think Saunders also got hit in the face again for the second time with those sticks and bodies. And I know the Eagles took offense. Paolucci's in the box for the Hawks as well. Let's see what... As we await the decision, all 4 officials talking right in front of the box. This was originally a interference call on Desai, and we've played a minute 15 of that power play.
Yeah, there was a lot of extracurricular after that whistle. A lot of shoving, a little face wash going on there. So it just all depends on what the officials felt that they actually saw and what they did see.
But they have put 2 St. A's players in the box and 1 Eagle, which would make you think we're going 4-on-4.
Right. They're just trying. I think they're trying to make sure they're getting it right.
as we await. Unfortunately, we're on the other side of the ice away from the scorer's box, so we're just kind of waiting for something to pop up onto the scoreboard. Right now, 4 St. A's players are on the ice, so it's going to make me think this is definitely a 4-on-4 situation. So probably coincidental minors to 2 players, and then a 2-minute, and then for some reason a 5-minute penalty shows up on the board for I don't think that's right because the Eagles don't have a player number 8. So are the Eagles going to end up with a 5-minute? All right. Sorry for the confusion. They just put 5 minutes on the board for the Eagles, but they don't have a player that matched the number they put up. And now they put 5 minutes on the board for St. A's. 5 minutes to Haley Tulo, the freshman from Southwick, Massachusetts, goes on the board. And I wonder if it might have been what happened to Saunders.
I don't know if it was happened to Saunders or at the end there, just when they finally did call penalties, there was that extra shove. That could be it.
So it's 4-on-4 for 45 seconds, and then the Eagles will go on a 4-minute and 15-second major power play.
It's a great opportunity for Post here, Jeff.
Absolutely. We'll see if we can officially figure out what that 5 minutes was for. And then coincidental minors to the 2 other players in the box. That's Paoluccio and Ammons. Coincidental roughing to Ammons and Paoluccio, and then we'll figure out what the 5-minute major was for to Tulo. Face-off won by the Hawks. Eagles need to hold strong here for these 45 seconds so they can have the 4:15 power play. Here's Jackson over the line on left wing. She stops. She waits. She sends it toward the net. Saunders sticks it away. And then a check from behind there. No penalty. Oh, that's... The referee didn't put his arm up until the crowd in that area started begging for it. There was no call by either official. And they're going to make a call and make this 4-on-3, which makes it even worse with 28 seconds remaining on the first power play. Let's see who gets the penalty after all that, but the nearest official wasn't going to call it. It's Jody Rose who's going to get the 2 minutes for, they're going to call it boarding. So it means 4-on-3 for the Hawks. 4-on-3 for the Hawks for 28, then 4-on-4 for 1:32, and then maybe the Eagles will have a 5-minute major. Although it wasn't but a couple weeks ago we did the men's game where somebody had a 5-minute major and only had 2 seconds of power play time.
Right. Yeah, that's just unfortunate there. You just can't be hitting in the numbers.
Popick gives it to Wrestler. Wrestler closing in. Shot on the near side, stopped by Saunders with 15 remaining on the 4-on-3. Then we'll go to 4-on-4. Behind the net it goes to Popick, right at the top of the far circle. Popick faked her shot, being D'd by Peterson, who gets picked off. Popick keeps closing in, takes a shot that goes wide. Pitter has it with time and space, but now the power play's over. She sends it down. It's going to be, nope, they're going to wave off the icing. Should have been an icing, but then, because she sent it down afterwards, but then a calamity of errors, both by the linesman and by the goalie who touched it, but the linesman did wave it off, to be fair. And now we're 4-on-4 for 1:18.
Yeah, that was one had it still,
yep.
And one waved them off.
Van de Altlaar sends it into the Zamboni corner. 4-on-4 for a minute. Here's Wrestler. Wrestler across the ice looking for Tolchinsky. It goes off her stick and to McEvkis. McEvkis sends it back into the Eagle zone. Peterson chasing after it. Stick checks Wrestler. Leaves the puck behind, though, and then sent behind the net. Peterson, who wasn't paying attention, had to turn away to go back to the puck. Pinching in, though, was Larson, and almost Tolchinsky almost put it into her own goal. Wrestler carrying it out of the zone with 44 on the 4-on-4. Tolchinsky over the line on left wing. Goes behind the net with it. Watched by Desai. Goes by Desai. Tolchinsky falls down looking to draw a penalty. Doesn't get it. Tolchinsky sends it back right here to Herman. Herman, time and space on right point. Instead, she chooses to pass to Martin, who gives it down low to Schneiderman. Schneiderman tries to center it in front. It goes back to Herman with time and space again on right point. She goes across to the left point, too far out of the zone with 15 remaining on the 4-on-4. Coming back in is Schneiderman. Schneiderman over the line looking for Tolchinsky, but good effort there by Van de Altlaar to poke it away before she could get a shot off. 4-on-4 about to expire, and the Eagles will go on a 2-minute and 40-second major power play. Now, with 7:20 remaining in regulation time, a 2-minute and 40-second major power play for the Eagles. Desai Goes across the ice nicely to Noonan, who carries it in on right wing over the line, goes around the defense with the puck. Chasing it behind the net, leaving it for Devlin. Devlin checked off by Herman, but gets it to Grom. Grom pulls it for the Zamboni corner with some time and space, gives it back down to Devlin in that corner. They play catch. Here's Grom. Back to the point to the side. Goes back to Grom on the half wall. Grom fakes, goes across the ice. Gives it to Pitter. Pitter sends it toward the net, looking save by Lalonde. Grom picks it up, goes back to the side on right point. Gives it back to Grom on the half wall. Devlin gives to Pitter on left point. Now center point. Gives it over to the side. Takes a one-timer shot. It goes through slowly and deflects to the Hawks, who send it all the way down with a minute 50 remaining on the major power play. Hawks, by the way, fall to 0 for 6 on the man advantage after not scoring on the 4-on-3. Here's Wysocki. Having trouble controlling it. Gets it checked away by Tolchinsky. An aggressive Weber tries to keep going around, gives it to Ressler, and she'll dump it all the way down. But Tolchinsky will chase in after it with Wysocki. Both players take themselves out of the play. Weber picked it up on the back end. Feeds it down in the corner to Tolchinsky. A tackle job by one of the St. A's players, no penalty call, and here comes Macy Peterson. Peterson with a nice pass across, rolls off the stick of McEvkis. She'll chase after it. Chipped up the wall and out to center again as the Eagle D makes the line change behind the play. And here's Rose with a minute to go on the major power play. Rose feeds it up to McEvkis, taken away by Popick and sent all the way back in. So the Eagles have another opportunity with a minute to go on the man advantage. 5:35 to go in the third period. Still 2-2 in what's been an exciting one here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Bad pass to Rose by Vanda Otlar makes Rose chase after it. Vanda Otlar gets it back to Devlin. Ressler, though, checks Devlin and loses the puck and gives to Rose. 40 seconds remaining. Rose gives to Devlin with some speed at the red line. Carrying it in, veers to the right-hand side, gets into the zone, keeps going with it. Looked to go to the forehand, but instead drops it back to the point to Rose. Rose to Pitter. Pitter on left point. Holds, waits, goes across to the bumper spot to Grom. Grom gives it down low to Devlin, goes back to the point to Rose. Rose to Pitter with 20. Looks across the slot, but ends up on the stick, fortunately, of Grom. Grom back to Rose. Gives it down in the corner to Devlin. Back to Grom. Grom walks in, shoots! Stopped by Lalonde. Deep in her crease was Lalonde, dangerously with 10 seconds remaining. Finally, at the end, the Eagles had some good puck movement and a shot by Grom from the top of the far circle with 4:50 remaining in regulation time and 10 seconds remaining on the major, of which the 5-minute major, of which the Eagles had 2 minutes of power play time.
Yeah, that was a good look, good getting the puck through. Too bad we couldn't get a stick on it there, but good effort.
Tolchinsky wins the face-off from Rose, but the Eagles try to keep the puck in the zone, and down comes Pitter to do the task. As the power play expires, the major power play expires, the Eagles get no goals on it, but they only had 2:45 of the 5 minutes. Wysocki down low to McEvkis, to Pitter at the point. Pitter being aggressively tracked by Jackson, and Jackson's got a breakaway from the red line in. Jackson comes in, looks, shoots, scores! Jackson on a breakaway with 4:25 to go in regulation time. She stole it from Pitter at the blue line and raced her to the puck at the red line and was all alone, went backhand, forehand, and past Saunders, who couldn't do anything about it. And at 15:35, St. A's takes a 3-2 lead. For Jackson, her 8th goal of the year, her 2nd of the game. That'll be unassisted at 15:35. So the Eagles now, with 4:25 to go, have to find a way to tie this game up. They played really well in this game, had their opportunities, had a 5-minute major in which they had some time, and now right back in come the Eagles. Devlin had it roll off her stick, as she would have been in alone if she could have controlled it. Past Noonan it goes, but taken by Grom. Grom closing in with a shot. In front and later, Grom on the rebound. It pops free. It's rolling, and it's stopped by Lalonde, who covers. Oh, the Eagles came right back, had multiple opportunities. But Lalonde saves the day. And I believe after all that, we still have to have the under 10-minute timeout, which is a break for the Eagles because it's a timeout with 4 minutes to go in regulation time and a 3-2 St. A's lead. Officially, Jackson, her 2nd of the game, 8th of the season, unassisted on a breakaway at 15:35.
Yeah, this will allow Coach Silverman to not have to use a timeout, but also begin to talk about what situation we will set up when we do pull our goaltender. Saunders has played great today.
Nothing she could do on the breakaway, but a great play by Jackson. Audrey Jackson, the junior out of Shoreview, Minnesota. She chopped it away from Pitter, took it and outraced Pitter all the way down the ice and really separated at the red line and had a breakaway in. Fake backhand, went forehand and ripped it by Saunders at 15:35. So timeout, on ice timeout, the under 10-minute timeout. Eagles still will have their timeout with 4 minutes to go in regulation time. 4:02 officially. Rose and McCaffrey, and McCaffrey wins another one, but Rose attempted to get to the puck, but Ridge picked it up. Ridge comes out the far side, gives the pass up to Anderson, who we haven't seen a ton of in this game. Puck sent back into the Hawk zone. Centered it up and off the stick of McCaffrey and all the way down. You have a feeling McCaffrey's going to be in the ice for every face-off coming up in the last 3:43.
Yeah, if that was me, I would do that.
At least in the defensive zone. Maybe in the offensive zone, somebody else goes out there, but wouldn't surprise me in the least. And she's out there now. McCaffrey has lost one face-off to my record today, and she was at 92.3% coming into the period. More of an even face-off, but the Hawks come away with it, so it's a win. Tolchinsky comes in front with a power move, stopped by Saunders. Desai behind the net, checked by Schneiderman. McCaffrey goes right off the ice, too, by the way, after that face-off, coach, so that might be the strategy.
Yeah, that's good coaching right there.
Peterson chips it up the wall looking for McKevkis. McKevkis comes away with it on the near side half wall. Checked off by the Hawks. Kuipers. Donovan goes D to D. Hawks try to get it out, and they just do. Patfield spins, turns, sends it back in. It goes off of. Dangerous pass in front. Wysocki tried to take it away as they looked for Kuipers. Kuipers couldn't control it, and Wysocki almost had a break from the blue line in. Here's Schneiderman. Schneiderman gets to the blue line, pops it up in the air high, blockered away by Saunders. Might have been better just to let that go. D to D to Desai. Desai spins away with it, goes behind her net with 2:49 to go in regulation time. Desai takes it again, trying to get away from Tulo, sends it up the center, too far away from anybody, not far enough for icing. Herman in her own zone, watched by Wysocki, spins away. Bit of a pick there, set, and then kept in the zone nicely by the Eagles. Eagles send it into the corner. Wysocki will go after Blair. Blair sends it up the wall and out the center, but play by Vanda Otelar. Vanda Otelar gets to center, dumps it in, a bouncing shot sticked away by Lalonde. Grom chasing into the near side corner with 2:22 to go. McEvkis tries to keep it in. Noonan does with her glove. Sends a shot toward the net, gloved up in the air, played by Grom. Grom sends it into the near side corner, chased by McEvkis. Too far, and here's Wrestler. Wrestler dangerous into the middle, and Noonan had to roll off her leg and just outside the zone. Popped up in the air, looking for Grom. Back to the Eagle D with 1:57 to go in regulation time. 3-2 St. A's. Long pass, looking for McEvkis. McEvkis is tired, though. He'll chase after it with Martin. Martin goes to the far side, now right up the middle. Nice play to get it out of the zone, and a nice pass to Jackson. Jackson up on right wing over the line with speed, trying to get around the defense. Comes in and shoots, and deflected wide and behind the net. Weber then tries to recenter, gives it back to Jackson. She popped it in front, but the only one there were Eagles. But the Eagles can't control it, and now it lay there. Finally, the Eagles come free with it. Trying to get away with it is Rose. Rose trying to get out of the zone. She does nicely. Noonan tried to feed it up ahead to a breaking, looks like Kubicek, but couldn't get there. Weber picks it up on the near side, sends it across for the deflection of Jackson, looking for the hat trick. With 1:17 to go in regulation time, a 3-2 St. A's.
You got to think that once Post gets possession here in the D zone and they're able to move it up, that the goaltender's coming.
Shockingly, Tolchinsky's in the face-off draw. She wins it back either way, and a shot taken, stopped by Saunders. Rebound toward the net, stopped again as Weber took a backhand, and then more pushing and shoving in Saunders' crease. The only thing surprising about that setup was that McCaffrey didn't come in to take the face-off. Out comes McCaffrey now with 1:12 to go in the third to take the face-off. Stay with us after the game. We'll do the 3 stars. With 72 seconds to go in regulation time. Face-off to Saunders' right. Discussion, I guess, has got to be, Coach, where the face-off's going to be, that enough players come in to make that face-off go outside the zone. And they've determined it's timeout. So after all that, there's going to be a timeout. Eagles. with 72 seconds remaining in regulation time. So here's the inevitable question, Coach. What can you do to not have McCaffrey win this faceoff? Because she's 20-1 in the game?
Yeah, as far as trying to win it straight up, I wouldn't do that. I would instruct my center to lift her stick, rotate into her, to create a lane for that winger to come and pick the puck up.
I mean, that'll help. If the Eagles can somehow win the faceoff, that'll help.
Yeah, they need to win the draw, get on the other side of the blue line so that Saunders can come out of the net for the extra attacker.
She's played well, but equally as well as Annabella Lalonde. She's played well as well and made some multiple big-time saves for the Hawks to keep this game at 2-2 at the time and allow Jackson eventually, after a 5-minute major, to go on a breakaway and beat Saunders to give them the 3-2 lead. 1:12 to go in regulation time. 3-2, face-off to Saunders' right between Peterson and the aforementioned McCaffrey. The Eagles actually won that face-off, so the puck comes free out to the blue line and sent right back in. So now I'll give the Eagles an opportunity to set it up. Pitter with a minute to go in regulation time behind her own net. Takes a return pass. Saunders should be looking to go out now. Pass to Grom, but she can't get it out of her own zone. Back to Pitter. Pitter gives to the side. The side goes across the ice to Grom. Grom finally gets it up to Peterson. There goes Saunders. Peterson in over the line with 45. Back to Grom, to the point, blocked by Paolucci on a shot by the side. Now it's just a race. Breakaway for Paolucci, diving sticks. That's going to be a goal anyway. That's a goal anyway. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a breakaway. The side threw her stick at Paolucci, so that's a goal. At 19:28, the Hawks take a 4-2 lead. I don't know what the talk is about. They threw the stick. That's an automatic goal.
Yep.
4-2. Paolucci will get credit for it because she was the last one to touch it among everything else. For Paolucci, her third goal of the year at 19:28. Do they give an extra penalty on that as well, Coach, or is it just a goal at this level?
Well, now you can, they should be a man down, right? Because now once there's a penalty taken, even if you do score the goal, you still get the power play.
I'm unclear what the extra celebration is for, unless I'm missing something. Paolucci scored the goal. I don't know why there's a third celebration about it. But Paolucci gets the unassisted goal at 19:28. She threw Desai threw her stick at Paolucci with the empty net. So even though Paolucci didn't score the goal into the empty net because of the thrown stick of Desai, it's an automatic empty net goal. And that'll put the dressing on the salad, should we say, as despite a great effort by the Eagles this afternoon, they're going to fall 4-2 here in Shelton today. Ooh, and a big hit at the end of the game by Wysocki as she leveled Maddie Ressler. And the St. A's bench is not going to take too kindly to that. Wysocki levels Ressler at the horn. And really the only question now is whether Wysocki is going to get some kind of game penalty to knock her out of the next game Friday night, which, given the injuries and illness to the Eagles, is the last thing they need is to lose a healthy player because they don't have any.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate undisciplined play at the end there. Not necessary.
So we'll see what
frustrations.
The official tally is going to be. I mean, it was a body check, which, again, you can't do at this level, and it was questionable whether that was after the horn among everything else.
Yeah, I'm curious on that goal. I wonder if, because it was an awarded goal, as opposed, for throwing a stick, as opposed to an actually scored goal, is usually why they didn't get the power play. Because typically, even if you score on the penalty, a delayed penalty, you still get the power play.
I don't know at this level, to be honest with you. It's probably something we can look up between now and our next game. Either way, Paolucci gets credit for the empty net goal because she would have had it if the stick wasn't thrown at her. And the Eagles fall 4-2 this afternoon. Again, a good effort by the Eagles, and they just fall short Coach, you got 3 stars for us this afternoon?
I do. My first star for St. Anselm is Audrey Jackson with her 2 goals, her second one being the game-winning goal. My second star is Natalie Tolchinsky with the second goal of the game to tie it up and an assist. And my third goal, this is kind of the unrecorded assist, Jeff, that I always put value on as a coach, with her ability to win so many draws and force posts to be on the defensive more so than they needed, and to give St. Anselm's scoring opportunities on the offensive side of the puck is Maddie McCaffrey. And then take a page out of your book, I want to give Annabelle Lalonde and Hannah Saunders both honorable mentions, because both goaltenders played very, very well. It's a shame either one of them had to lose, because their play was exceptional.
My 3 stars as well, Coach. My only change, honestly, and it's just because of yes, Jackson had the 2 goals and the assist, and ultimately she made the entire play that set up the game-winning breakaway for herself and the goal. But sometimes I kind of look at it as who really was the leader on that ice tonight. And the only change for me is I thought McCaffrey was the first star, because you could throw her out there in any situation, and she won face-off after face-off after face-off and dominates time of possession, as you mentioned many times. You're chasing after that.
Yeah, no, and I could certainly get on board.
That's my only.
I could get on board with that 100%. Just I personally have never seen someone so dominant in the face-off circle.
Yeah, I'm curious as we await the final score sheet what her overall win percentage was. I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood of 25-1 today, because she took every major face-off as well. So the 3 stars, as selected up here by Coach, is Audrey Jackson, 2 goals and assists, including the game winner tonight. Natalie Tolchinsky, a goal and an assist as well, their leading scorer. And Mrs. Faceoff, Maddie McCaffrey, Ms. Faceoff, the senior out of Weymouth, Massachusetts, the 3rd star tonight. And an honorable mention to both goalies, Annabella Lalonde, who had 25 saves, and Hannah Saunders, who had 49 saves for the Eagles. Lone goal in the 3rd, 2 goals actually. The game-winning goal was by Jackson. She poke-checked Pitter right at the blue line and raced away from the red line all the way in on a breakaway and beat Saunders on a forehand at 15:35 to give the Hawks a 3-2 lead. And then the empty net goal by Celesta Paolucci, the senior from Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, as she gets credited for the goal because Sejel Desai threw her stick at her as she was breaking away with the empty net. So she never put it in, but she gets credit for the empty net goal. Shots on goal in the 3rd, 17-9 for St. A's, a game total of 52-27 in advantage of St. A's. But then the stat that'll just, as a former coach, I'm sure will leave you nutty. Face off 17-4 in the 3rd, 46-16 overall.
Yeah, again, you look at those little things, the icings that didn't need to be icings, the face-offs that are lopsided, just those are cumulative and end up being difference makers in your games.
Just waiting to get the score sheet, just because I want to. And we'll wrap.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see what that ends up being.
Thank you. She is credited 19-2. Because she did lose the one at the end. So 19 wins and 2 losses, 90.5%. Also credit to Natalie Tolchinsky, who was 21 of 27 on the draw for a lonely 77.6%.
Yeah, time to renegotiate the contract there.
Well, in this day and age, depending on who you're talking to. That'll do it for us here up at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where St. A's defeats the Eagles 4-2. St. A's moves to 15-9-1 overall, 15-4-1 in the NEWHA. That's 31 points. The Eagles fall to 6-20-0 overall, 6-14-0 in the NEWHA. On the women's side, join us for our next game. That'll be Friday night here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, 8 p.m. puck drop as the Eagles host Franklin Pierce here on the CACC network and the YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. Coach and I will be live with you for the men's game on Wednesday night. That's the 24th at 7 p.m. down at the Materi Family Arena at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut for the men's game as they take on Assumption in the rescheduled game that was snowed out from a couple of weeks ago. So if you've never been down there, want to see us, want to see that arena, head on down there, get a big crowd in there for the Eagles on Wednesday night. If you can't join us on the NE10 Now Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. Coach, any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, no, to your point, come on down to that game on Wednesday. It's always nice to get your home team some support when they're playing in that neutral site, and it's a beautiful arena. You'll enjoy it.
Absolutely, and almost all of the seats you can actually see some things where sometimes here you can't.
True story.
That'll do it for us. For Coach Pete Whitney, I'm Jeff Nelson. The final score is St. Anselm 4, Post University 2. We'll see you on the men's side Wednesday and on the women's side Friday on whatever network we were on that given day. We thank you very much. Have a good evening. Drive home safe.